So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? I hope you're all doing good, fine, well. Sound is good. Maybe move the mic away a bit. I don't have my filter, my pop filter, whatever you call it here, so yeah, maybe create a little bit of distance with the mic. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Let me know if you have any trouble hearing me. I doubt you will. I think I've got the microphone pretty well dialed in. Probably still haven't dealt with the high peaks. I've been doing my best, though. I've been changing small settings each live stream to try and get it dialed in, though. I think it's all right. It's a heck of a lot better than it used to be. Oh, so it's good to be here. Nice to see you all. It's a Friday. I feel good. I feel pretty good. Pretty good. Had a good week. Made decent money, for me anyway. Maybe not objectively, but for me, I'm back. The lean summer is over. I want to thank everybody who donated to my GoFundMe. It's been a while since anybody donated, but those people that did saved my butt. I did not foresee the huge downturn in business. I mean, I was prepared for a certain drop-off that I calculated to be the same amount as last summer, but it was like way worse. So thank you to everybody. Yeah, things are okay. They're going good. Work is back in full swing. I feel pretty good today. Not great, but had a good day. Can't complain, and now I'm ready for a relaxing weekend with no worries. I mean, I'll still have to edit content and post a couple videos Saturday and Sunday, so it's a couple hours of work for Saturday, a couple hours of work on Sunday, but that's nothing. Oh, but anyway, yeah, pretty good week. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from manufacturer of rear wheel bushings. So I got an issue with my car. I've had it for a long time. It's an older car, like 2012. It's a great vehicle. It's in perfect working order. I take very good care of it. But there's an issue with the bushings. I replaced the struts, but the actual problem is the bushings. 14 years in a hot-ass desert. They're natural rubber. I'm going to switch them out, replace them with polyurethane, which doesn't deteriorate at all. It's much cheaper than OEM, meaning factory production model parts made by the vehicle manufacturer, which are a heck of a lot more expensive and are also made of natural rubber. I just have to wait. I'm waiting to hear back from the manufacturer. They wanted me to get under the vehicle and take pictures. And I mean, they should fit. They said that it matches the OEM part number that's already on the car. But I want to cross all my I's, dot my T's, and be 100% sure. Because when you're doing aftermarket parts, you do not want to get it wrong. So I'm waiting until Monday to hear back from them. Once I do, then I got to buy some special tools. Still way less expensive, I should say, than having somebody else do it. I very rarely do I have anybody else do my mechanical work. I mean, I'm an engineer, so I mean, anything mechanical is pretty easy for me. I just need the right tools, so I got to buy a special tool for removing the bushings, and but the bushings themselves are pretty cheap, like $70. The OEM ones are like $240. It's a huge differential, so hopefully I can get that done soon. It's a really rough ride. I mean, you got 14-year-old rubber bushings connecting your struts to the chassis of your car and your front control arms. It's like, you feel every bump and everything. So I can't wait to get that done. But otherwise, the car's great. And once that's done, I'll have it back at peak working efficiency. So yeah, happy about that. Got to put in a trusted piece of nicotine gum. Yes, I'm still chewing that. Yes, I need it. What do you want? I got brain damage. Give me a break. But I found a good deal. I had to replace these 2 milligram pieces. I've only got enough for a couple more days. So I went online And I found a sale. 4 milligram pieces, 310 for 38 bucks. These are only 2 milligram. So what I'll do is I bought them and then I'll cut them in half and then put them in a baggie. And I'll have a daily allotment, right? And that way I don't go over and chew too much. And that'll last me a month and a half, 2 months for 38 bucks. That's a deal, baby. Deal! I also bought some 6-blade razors. Apparently they've been around a while. I've been shaving my face with 5-blade for years. But they're 6-blade and they've been around long enough that they're pretty cheap now. I think I bought a handle with 9 cartridges for 10 bucks on Amazon. So apparently they've been around a long time. Can't wait to see how close a shave I get with those. Yeah. Also, I found out Twitter has now, this is a very new feature. I just noticed it. It used to be that you could only live stream on Twitter using your phone, or you'd have to download some kind of program that would allow your computer to mirror a cell phone. And you would use your computer like a cell phone to live stream to Twitter. But now they have a function where you can live stream from your PC. It's very new. I don't have it set up yet, but I'm going to get it set up this weekend as a RTMP channel. So I have to do all that. But Monday, I'm going to be dual streaming. So one stream on YouTube and another on Twitter. And we'll see just how much less censorship there is. Guys, there's a lot of censorship on YouTube. Right now, YouTube has pulled a new prank, some shenanigans to further reduce the number of views my channel gets. For the past week, I can't see views. I can't see comments. I can't view comments. All my new videos, the comment count is 0. No matter how many comments there are, the comment counter reads 0. You might say, oh, it's a glitch. Who cares? So what you don't understand is YouTube's algorithm determines how much to push or not push your video based to a certain extent on the number of comments. So the more comments you get, the more views your video will get, and vice versa. So if I'm getting 0 comments on the counter, even if you can see the comments in the comment section of that video, it reads a 0 to the algorithm, and then my video doesn't get pushed. So, that's their new way of it. And it happened at the exact time I started reporting on that grifter bum, Andrew Wilson, and his debate with Candace Owens. The exact same time. I posted my very first piece of content about that. My comments counter went to 0 on every new video, and it won't move. I was like, what? What's going on here? Oh, no. They figured out new ways to, clever ways that they can claim are just a glitch. Oh, wow, we didn't know. Yeah, I emailed, I tweeted Team YouTube a few times. I tweeted him a few more times in other posts, and I also sent a report on YouTube to them. I'll have to check my email to see if I've heard anything back. I'm sure they'll claim to know nothing about it. Oh, you're having problems? We had no idea. Yeah, sure you didn't. Okay, YouTube, whatever. They find ever new creative ways to throttle your channel without directly throttling it, right? And they have plausible deniability. Oh, your comment counts are 0 for all your videos the past week? Pfft, we don't know why. Probably just a glitch. Let us look into it. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's just a glitch. I'm sure it's a total complete coincidence that right when I started talking about the beanie people, the little beanie folks, and little beanie wearing folks, and the whole Charlie Kirk thing, all of a sudden, my comments glitched, went to 0, which has significantly tanked my views. Oh, but it's just a coincidence, right? Maybe. And maybe 30-odd 6 bullets that are non-frangible, can just fragment in midair. I mean, they can, but the odds are like, what, 500 billion to 1? but it could happen. Yeah, I guess. Sure. Whatever. Whatever, YouTube. But anyway, on another note, I'd like to ask you guys out there if there are any lolcows you think I should talk about. Other than Styx, who we're going to get to here in a sec. But if you know of any lolcows you think I should comment on, and don't say Cyrax, okay? I don't want to hear the names of some very obviously mentally disabled, mentally ill, 60 IQ people, okay? Who people with no life are just taking advantage of and manipulating so they control them and get views. And nobody like that, okay? People like Styx. Or that TJ Kirk goofball, right? The banana guy. People like that, all right? People who are eminently dunkable and, viewers might be interested in seeing. So if you know anybody like that who might be interesting to dunk on, let me know. Because it looks like Styx might be gone. He might be in the tombs of Rikers, baby. So, yeah. I need some new content fodder. And the Jer content, oh boy, that's overly saturated, man. Too many people are talking about Jer. Way too many. The Jeremy Hamley stuff is just... there's so many people talking about it, it's difficult to get views. Right. Even with good thumbnails, right, and good content, it's rough. That space is already monopolized by Fat Man and Little Cokehead and whoever they choose to shout out, which is never me, which is interesting. Of course, when you consider the fact that Josh Moon of Kiwi Farms, who I've called out repeatedly for the scumbag that he is, has a very close relationship with them, and Fat Man and Little Cokehead get the vast majority of their viewers from Kiwi Farms, it's really not surprising. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Fat Man and Little Cokehead got their marching orders from Josh Moon. Don't talk about that guy unless you're going to, dunk on him. Call him a 60-year-old schizo. But don't reference him by name. Don't give him any clout. Yeah. So, anyway, we got a good show tonight. Very good show. Should be fun. Oh, we got a lot of people in chat. I like that. I'm going to get to your comments. By the way, here's how the show works for anybody new here. So I do commentary on videos. Long time ago, I used to do news stories as well, which I would read. I don't do that no more. So I do video commentary. When I'm doing the video commentary, I do not respond to comments. I have a screen capture window open. And so I don't see your comments. I could bring them up, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm blind. The chat window, if I were to sneak it in there, I could put it like below my camera capture, but the text is too small. I would have to wear my bifocals. The light would reflect off my bifocals and would blind you. So it's not practically feasible for me. If I had good vision, I could, but I can't. The words are too small, so I literally can't read the chat when I'm using screen capture. So you got to forgive me, okay? But I do get to all comments after the commentary, okay? So don't worry. So comment. If your comment is a little more involved, please include some kind of context or specific reference to what I said in the video so that when I reply to your comment, I know what the hell I'm replying to, if that makes sense to you. But otherwise, yeah, sit back, enjoy, have fun, and get ready for coming and go. All right, let me see. Okay, so I'm scrolling back through comments. I'm going to start where I left off. Okay, here we go. The Dashing Rogue. Hey, Dashing Rogue, how you doing? He sold his soul for the bird's blessings. Yeah, Stolas, yeah. Selgers. 2 says, I think with some Christians, they are frightened by the implications of a holistic approach to the Bible. Yeah. Selgers, true. Styx's life is a cautionary tale. Indeed. Don't play with black magic, folks. Chappy Chap says he's a hardcore pathological liar. Well, people who lie pathologically, they do so to feel in control. That's why they'll often lie about things that you ask yourself, why is he lying about that? It's not really important because they have an intense need for control. The lies are not always to counter something they don't want you knowing. Oftentimes the lies are told just to make them feel like they have more power over a situation so that they can constantly feel like they're in control of their life, the narrative, and that's what the lies are for, more than anything else. Selger says, I think he's delusional too. Well, yeah. Yeah. He believes he's being visited by, demon wolves and demon owls. Scan Nerd K. If Styx got his S together, he could have a whole redemption arc. Yeah, it'd be great. But he'd have to give up the sauce. Chappy Chaps. That's why I like Sam so much, because she's out there and in La La Land, and she just rolls with whatever BS he would say. Yeah, but I think didn't she get married recently? Didn't Samantha Keister get married to some dude so she'd have a place to live? Selgrish, YouTube is doing everything it can to screw over creators, unless they're controlled. If they're controlled, they have a voice. Like that Andrew Wilson guy. Selgrish says, I'm glad you're okay. Well, thank you. Chappy Chap, I wish you could just say what your car drive. No one is ever going to know which. No, of course they would. Dude, okay. Never underestimate the ingenuity of lonely, desperate losers who have nothing but time on their hands, okay? I'm not so arrogant or full of hubris that I don't think somebody could find me just by knowing what car I drive, all right? Wouldn't actually be that hard, okay? A DMV records check, knowing what state you're in, it wouldn't be as difficult as you might think, all right? Chap, I could help you. That's what I do. What do you mean you could help me? Well, dude, I'm an engineer. I could build a car from the ground up. I could take my car apart and put it back together. So I don't know how you could help. Well, I don't have a lift or, yeah. But if I have the tools, I could do that. So it's not like, so I don't know what you mean by help. Scan Nerd K, have the same problem with one of my vehicles. Yeah, the tool I have to, it's like $120. So it's not an expensive tool. And I mean, if I were to pay somebody else to do it, why I would do that, I don't know. You'd be talking like $2,000 in labor, all right? Meanwhile, I do it myself. I pay $350 for parts, and that's it. Chappy Chap, I would go with the OEM. No, you don't want to go with the OEM. It's natural rubber. You go with the OEM part, it gets up to like 120 plus in the summer here. It'll lose 15 to 25% of its structural integrity within 1 year. Meanwhile, polyurethane bushings will last forever. I'll never have to change them again. In addition to that, they lose no integrity. Again, I just need to verify that the part fits. And it already is a matched part with the skew. So the part that's in there now, they told me it matches, but I took pictures just in case. So, yeah. In most cases, I would go with the OEM, but not in this case. No. Chappy Chap. Oh, now somebody else is talking about cars. This is what I don't like. Please try to keep the comments relevant to what I say in chat. Otherwise, I have to read the comments in my head, and I can't read them out loud. And so, yeah. Let me see here. I will say my car's a V4. I mean, it's a 4-cylinder. Multi-drider. Styx is a victim of his own success. Yeah. He's a victim of snatch addiction. Styxhexhammer666 is a victim of a lot of things, but really he's a victim of his own lack of self-control and hedonism, right? He's addicted to pleasure for pleasure's sake. Selger says, yeah, guys like Chris Chan or Cyrax are mentally ill. I always felt somewhat sorry for them. Yeah, I can't do locale reviews on those guys, man. They're too mentally ill. It's like, you're really just taking advantage of them at that point. They're mentally ill. They're easily susceptible to manipulation. They don't know any better. So you can manipulate them into doing things that are humiliating, okay? And self-effacing. And it's like, okay, but you're laughing at a literal R. R ... tard. I mean, I don't do that. No. Sorry. Chappy Chat, please don't talk about Hambly anymore. I can't take it. I'm just going to do one. Out of 4 segments, I'm going to do one Hambly segment. So it's 25%. All right? You got to give me a break. I'm running low on people that dunk on here, yo. Scan Nerd K. That's why it's parked in the garage until I find the funds to work on it. Yeah. Yeah, cars. Boy, oh boy. Okay, there's some people talking about their cars in here. That's fine, but I'm not going to read that stuff. Okay. I hate having to, because you can see me squinting. I can barely read this crap. I told you I'm blind. Okay. Chappy Chap, but you are not the only one with the model. Scan Nerd, Cyrax, LOL. Yeah. I have no idea. You should cover her, not Hambly. What do you mean her? Her who? Talking about Samantha Keister? Okay. For next show. Yeah, I'll have to make a mental note or I'll forget. Or send me an email. I have memory problems, man. I have memory problems big time. Oh, man. Chappy Chat, why would you think that you were the only one driving? Okay, he's talking about cars again with somebody else in the chat. That's fine, but I'm not going to read those comments. Sam's segment would be better. Well, it's too late, man. Look, I have a job. I devote 30 to 40 hours a week to this live stream, plus my work. I don't really have, the only time I have to do any in-depth research is the mornings in between shows, Tuesday and Thursday, and weekends. So I'll do that research this weekend. But tonight, I got what I got, okay? You're going to have to live with it. I will do a Sam segment next show, Monday. Probably means I'm going to have to go to Kiwi Farms because she has her own actual thread there. Oh, God, I hate that place. I don't go there anymore for information. It's just a cesspool. Flip Wilson, you should cover a guy named Raymond, Thoughts in Mind. I've heard of that guy. Didn't he get banned? Isn't that the bald guy that Fat Man and Little Cokehead dunked on a couple times? I don't know why you're telling me this stuff, by the way, in chat. I can't remember. Dude, I have brain damage. My memory is fragged. Why you tell me this stuff in a chat, I don't know. You should email it to me. All right, so now I have to go. See, this is... You people are lazy. You're just lazy. Why can't you email this to me? My email is only in every single freaking piece of content I post on YouTube. I just wish you would email it to me. I really do. I appreciate you saying it. I can't even type. The microphone is in the way. So now I love this. You really don't understand how this works. So now I got to go and, oh, this guy. Why can't you just email me this stuff? Thoughts in Mind. Okay, I'll go look at this person. Raymond, Thoughts in Mind. Let's go look. Yeah, this guy. Okay. Bookmark. Done. Let's go to his channel. Yeah, I know this guy. I thought he was banned. He has no content. Yeah, he got all his content banned, didn't he? There's nothing here. Yeah, didn't his channel? Yeah, his channel got okay. Well, I'll bookmark his channel. Yeah, he has no content. Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about. He's kind of goofy. I'll admit. Yeah, his channel got fragged, dude. He has no content on YouTube anymore. I'll check Rumble. Maybe he's there. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I just wish you'd email it to me. You get a kick out of him. Well, I'll check him out. Now I've bookmarked it, so, you know. Multi-Drider. What if Foul Hist is another person to talk of, what? What if, what? Dude, I can't read that. What is that? Okay, hold on. Copy, paste. I don't know who these people are. I'll look. I know you people you get a kick out of, like, annoying the crap out of me because I'm old have to do this crap during stream is annoying. What if all this tea? Okay. Luxury beliefs will destroy us. What? Is he a lolcow? A lot of views. I don't know who this person is. I'll take a look. If he's worth dunking on, well, I'll dunk on him. Again, you could email me, but God forbid you do that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Chappy Chap, no, that was to you. Cover Jerry Banfield. I looked at that guy. He's just like a dating coach. He didn't seem particularly lolcow-like. He didn't seem like a loser or anything. I don't know. Scan Nerd K. I'm in the sticks, or should I say sticks, the middle of nowhere. Nothing wrong with that. I'd love to be in the middle of nowhere. The Muffin Man, your memory's fine. No, my memory's not fine. Why do you say that, dude? No, it's actually not. Dude, I'll get out of my car, and I'll lock the door, then I'll walk like 5 feet, and I don't remember if I locked it. No, my memory's not actually good, but thank you for telling me something that is incorrect. Patrick S. Styx has brain damage too. No, he doesn't. He didn't have a stroke. It's all BS. He made that up to get out of court. That's all. Muffin Man, you're fine. Everything's fine. James Reed. Hey, so is Styx not dating the new potato anymore? I don't know if they were ever dating. Maybe they were just friends. I have no idea. I don't even know if he's living there anymore. We're going to find out. Chappy Chap. Yeah, I think he's got a fine memory. He just likes to use it as an excuse. Now you're trying to mess with me. Okay, whatever you say. Muffin Man, Styx soul is sober. Forgot to memorize the channel. Monetize the channel. Yeah, well, you know. Patrick S. Just a few years ago, everything looked... Dude, well, some stuff I remember, some I don't. You know, it's not like predictable or anything. Chappy Chip, Styx was living it up, and he was smug about it. It's my short-term memory more than anything else. But, like, if you give me a name in chat and say you should look at this guy, I'm not going to remember. Right. Flip Wilson. There are a bunch of clip channels of him on YouTube. Of who? It's hot in my area as well. Okay. Okay, Scan Nerd. Patrick S. He used to brag about how much he worked. Seems like all he does now is mooch off others. You mean Styx? Okay. James Reed. The channel name is What If... Yeah, I already looked it up and bookmarked it. Thank you. James Reed. He's a bit nuts and sparky. Okay, sounds promising. Jerry Banfield cries on dates. Jerry Banfield. Okay, I better look this guy up and bookmark it because I'll forget. Yeah, my long-term memory's fine. Well, not really, but it's okay compared to my short-term. Yeah, my short-term's garbage. Oh man, that's terrible, but that's life, man. All right, I'm looking him up now. Yeah, this guy. Yeah. Okay, Jerry Banfield. Yep, let me bookmark him. Got him. Very good. We've got some potential new locales now, which I like. So we don't have to talk about Jairus much. Chappy Chap. Yeah, he's crazy now. After I saw his arms, I pretty much came to terms with how insanely overrated he was in the past. Talking about Styx. Chappy Chap, those arms are haunting. They're like twigs. They're pretty bad. But, okay. We're going to find out what Styx has been up to, all right? Give me a sec here. Camera's okay. As you can see, I don't have my pop filter here because I'm going to be using the keyboard, which is challenging. So I have to move the microphone away a bit. Okay. You got to let me know if you have problems hearing me because the microphone is now quite a bit further away from me, so I can access the keyboard. So just let me know if you have any problems or issues hearing me. All right. Let me open up. All right. Good to go. So hello all and welcome to Just I, the Realist Philosopher. And this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fun, and well. So, Where is Carmen Sandiego? Excuse me, Styxhexhammer666. Where is he? What has he been up to? Is he alive? Is he unalive? Is he living in an alley with his demon owl Stolas and the demon wolf Fenris, his old pals that have ruined his life because he made some kind of contract with the devil? Or the demon owl, same difference. The demon owl is, a servant, an emissary of the devil. So, same difference, right? Well, we're going to find out here together. So, Styx has not posted content in weeks now. He hasn't been on Twitter in weeks. The dude has vanished, apparently, from the face of the earth. Well, where is he? Well, let's see, shall we? First thing we're going to do it together because anything worth doing, we should do together, right? Now, I'm going to check first New York City. So, we know he's in New York, right? So, are there any... Oh, geez, Louise. It's going to be hard to hear me. All right. Are there any police records of Tarl Warwick, a.k.a. Styxhexhammer666, being arrested in New York City within the past 3 weeks? Okay. Oh. Let us see. All right. Let us ask Gemini. AI. AI is good for something, right? I use it to make thumbnails now, and, well, also, it's pretty good for doing these kind of searches. So let's see what Gemini has to say. It's searching the web. There are no public verified law enforcement records and news reports confirming an arrest of Tara Warwick, Styxhexhammer666 in New York City within the past few weeks. Okay, what about Brooklyn, New York City? Or Brooklyn. There are no public law enforcement records, news reports, or official notifications confirming an arrest of Tara Warwick in Brooklyn. Okay, what about unaliving records? Is he passed? Is he now in the netherworld? There are no public records, news reports, or official announcements indicating that Tara Warwick, Styxhexhammer666, has passed. Okay. Now, this is interesting. He has published several books with titles referencing death, such as Death and the Afterlife and The Life After Death. Meaning he found some old books online where the copyright had expired, and he did some editing and then republished them as his own. But no record of his actual unaliving exists. So does that mean that he's not passed? So Gemini, if there was a public record, they would have found it, I would think. And there would be a public record, there would be a news report, something in the newspaper, something on a police blotter. So we know that Styx is still alive. And we know that he's not in police custody. But wait, what if he was taken into custody in New York, but he got extradited to Louisiana? Let us see. Has Tarl Warwick, a.k.a. Styxhexhammer666, been extradited to New Orleans via his extradition warrant? Question mark. Tell me, Gemini. Genie on the wall. Who's the most famous of them all? Not Styx. There are no public verified law enforcement records, legal filings, or news reports indicating that Tara Warwick has an active... Okay, so that he's not been extradited to New Orleans as far as we know. Now, of course, Gemini is a bit limited in regards to what it can and cannot do. So let's check out the New York City Police Blotter. New York City Police... La la la. Okay. Instead, open data. New York City arrest data year to date. Let's do it. Let's see if he's in the system. Let's see if he's kicking around Rikers Island, baby. Whew. I don't think that Tara would do too well in Rikers Island, but hey, I could be wrong, you know? Maybe he's given up the, bum for weed and, booze in prison. I don't know. All right, let us see here. Search. Tarl Warwick. 0 results. Interesting. So nothing is coming up. New York City. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what else we got. NYPD Online. All right. This is, by the way, all publicly available information. So if this guy was New York arrests, okay, let's check that out. We're going to check multiple sources. Welcome to the official NYPD website. Ooh, okay. Don't care about officers or personnel. Careers, services. Let's check out services. Victim services, obtain Crime Stoppers, obtain a police report. Okay. Let's see what we got. Report, verification number. Okay, that's not. All right. New York State Police, New York Police Blotter reports. All right. Oh, it's by day. I have to go day by day and search each day. Take a while? I want to do that. That'll take too long. Moving on. Oh, here we go. New York City arrests. Okay, now we found the correct place. This is literally all the arrests made. Every single solitary person arrested is here. But it's in chronological order, so we're going to have to go back. But if Tarl was arrested in New York, his picture will be here. His mugshot will be here. Sweet. Oh, baby! All right. So starting August 21st. No, Tarl. I'm going to go back. Yep, got some very unattractive people here. I'm sure good-looking people are arrested as well from time to time. Okay. No, most of these people are fat and ugly. Yikes. A lot of people arrested here, yo. Okay. No Tarl. No. Back to August 14th. Yes, I'm going through all these pictures, so you don't have to. And by the way, readers, can't you share the screen? Trust me, you don't want to see these people. Okay. You really don't want to see them. These are some of the most unattractive humans I've ever seen. I'm sparing you from having to look at these people, okay? What I can tell you is that I've already, and yes, I can move very quickly. I've already gone back to August 10th, yes, and still going, and there's no Tarl. I can move pretty fast. Not like data fast, but I can process information pretty quick. So no Tarl so far. Wow. Jeez. I've seen one marginally good-looking guy, and that's about it. Okay, so we've gone back. No, he's not on the arrest records. If he's been arrested, it's not showing up in the system anywhere. So it looks like Tarl is still on the lam, at least as far as I can see. So, obituaries. Ooh, let's check those out, baby. All right. Obituaries, New York City. Let's take a look. So if Tarl has passed, he gonna be here. New York City obituaries. Tarl Warwick. Let's take a look. So if Stolas has come to claim Tarl's soul, we're gonna find out. Let's see. We couldn't find an exact match. I guess that Fenris and Stolas want him to suffer a little bit more. Okay, so nothing there. Let's check another source. New York Times obituaries, got it. Dignity Memorial, International Funeral Services, no. Let's see here, obituaries, New York City. Okay, let's see if we have a state-funded or city-funded government source. New York Daily News, okay. New York Public Library, all right. NewYorkCity.gov, there we go. Bingo. Bingo, bingo. Let's take a look. I want to make sure that I exhaust all possible avenues. All right, Tarl Warwick. Okay, what do we got? There are 4 results. 4 results that match your search? No. Next. Next. Okay, this is the government website. Let us see. Tarl Warwick. Hooah. Give me something. 10 results. Okay. No, 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 no. Okay. So I think we can safely assume that Tarl is still on the lam. If he had unalived, we would know. I would have found something. I went through half a dozen different search criteria, including the New York City's main website for that. I also checked the NYPD directly, as well as the police blotter. Nothing. If he was arrested in New York City, if he was unalived, if Stolas came for him in New York City, Brooklyn, I would have found it. So we know he's not passed over. We know that he is not in police custody. So he's still with the potato, or they kicked him out. Now that's a distinct possibility. Somebody said to me, realist, maybe Styx got booted out. Maybe the potato or her parents got tired of his shenanigans. Maybe they got tired of his stinky bum. Maybe they got tired of his whining and complaining, his boozing it up, the house constantly smelling like alcohol, this dirty curmudgeon, crawling around, stinking up the place, getting in the way when they're trying to wash their clothes, because he's got that blow-up mattress in the laundry room. I was like, yeah, that could be possible. So that's also a possibility because we know this guy is terminally online. We know that he cannot survive, cannot exist without the attention and validation of people online unless he has no ability to get online. So it's quite possible that he's now living in an alley, smoking old cigarette butts that he's picking up off the ground, and drinking his good enough vodka every chance he gets to numb the pain of no longer being able to get online. So there you go. Looks like Styx is probably homeless at this point. Either that or the other possibility, which is just as likely because he's already established residency there, so they couldn't just boot him out unless they threatened him with calling the police, which would boot him out effectively because there's the extradition warrant from New Orleans, Louisiana, which means that if the police ever come into contact with him in any of the other 49 states, they will arrest him and extradite him. So if they threatened him and said, you got to leave, yeah, you've established residency, but our potato daughter wants you gone, and even if she doesn't, we do, and if you don't leave, we're going to call the cops, and then you're going to be extradited and put in the cuffs and sent back to Louisiana to spend 6 months in the tombs with brothers like no others. I don't think he would want that. So that's a possibility, or he's still there, but he's given up. He's backed down, even though Styx says he don't back down. So what do I think happened? I don't know. I really don't know. I think all the possibilities there is likely. He's not unalive. We know that. He's not in police custody. We know that. So the only two options, he's still there and he's just given up on life. He's abandoned content creation. He's become demoralized. He has become disenfranchised with content production. The guy is just totally, completely given up on life. He's become disillusioned with, seems like existing, and just wants to numb the pain of his meaningless existence, or he's been kicked out. Who knows? I verified everything I can. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Is Styx living in an alley? His only friend is Stolas, and Fenris, the wolf. The imaginary demon wolf that's his buddy. Or is he still with the potato, living in the laundry room, and he's just drunk out of his mind and giving up on life? Let me know what you think in the comments section, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I might create. Also, if you'd like to support my continued content creation, there's a number of ways you could do so. You can leave a super chat. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. If you appreciate my content, please do so, because YouTube is algorithmically suppressing me heavily. More of their shenanigans with people who say stuff they don't like. You can also join my Patreon. Link is in the description. Or you can subscribe to my channel as a monthly supporting member on YouTube by hitting the join button below the video. I also have a Cash App link in the description. It's totally anonymous, and I get 100% of any donations sent via Cash App. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. And take care. Actually, no, I'm not actually out of here. That's how I end segments. When I do a segment, when I do a bit, that's how I end it, but I'm not actually leaving. Okay, so let me get my mic set up correctly now. Normally, I would do that kind of searching more thoroughly even before the show. But I just didn't have time. It's that simple. I mean, I work full-time. And believe it or not, this show is a full-time endeavor. So, yeah. All right. There we go. Pop filter set up. Microphone set up. All right. All right, let me get to your comments if there's any, after I make sure the picture's good. And the picture is good. Ooh, I like that. Give me a sec here. Got to scroll back, find where I left off in said comments. Yes, there's dead air as I'm going through comments. The Muffin Man, Styx was BSing the entire time. He was LARPing as an occult scholar, but he's just a junkie. Yeah. Selgrass. He looks frightening. Kalashnikova. Hey, Kalashnikova, how you doing? Styx Life is the best anti-drug ad ever. You ain't kidding. Scan Nerd says Styx is so lame for worshiping an owl, then mocking Christianity like he's the cool, edgy guy. Isn't that bizarre? I think that's so bizarre. Like, he goes on video and it's like, Christians are just cherry-picking from the Bible. You're all just a bunch of hypocrites, and you don't even follow your own religion to the letter. Meanwhile, this guy cherry-picks the hell out of everything that he believes in, right? Well, I like this aspect of Satanism, but, you know, I don't believe in Satan. Wait a second. You don't believe in Satan, but you worship, you practice Satanism. Isn't that like the epitome of cherry picking, dude? But Christians cherry pick. Oh, okay, buddy. Yeah. Chappy Chap. What blew me away was the fact that all the times he said he wrote a book, he was just republishing other people's work that was out of copyright. I know. Isn't that wild? Patrick S. I used to think he was okay. The Muffin Man Styx lived a double life. He was a good BSer. Absolutely. He's a very good BSer, for sure. Chappy Chat. If he is smart, he'll go away for a while and get his fake tooth, get a fake tooth. Yeah. Even Nikki got her fake tooth replaced, Joe. And she's a dullard. Hopefully he stays away from Nikki. Yes, Mr. James Reed. Absolutely. Chappy Chap. That S was cringe. Yeah, Nikki hasn't made any content either in a while. Yeah. She's MIA also. Even though she said she wanted to be like a big content producer and get more serious about content creation, she didn't. To be honest, the red flags were there, though. Yes, Patrick. The Muffin Man. Check Kiwi Farms. I don't go to Kiwi Farms somewhere, man. I refuse to. I haven't been to Kiwi Farms since somebody came in here One of the trolls from there, because they wanted me to comment, and I fell for it, right? Because there were a bunch of people there lying about me, like outright lies, making stuff up. So I felt I needed to set the record straight, but that was stupid of me. I just ignore them. I hadn't been there in like 4 or 5 months at that point. It's a toxic place. I don't even bother going there. I can do my own research, man. Kalashnikov, I was browsing Kiwi Farms earlier. They weren't able to find anything about what happened to Styx. Yeah, believe me. If the goofball dullards there can't find anything, I mean, if they can, look, I can do a better job researching than those people, okay? I don't need them. It's easier to let them do the heavy lifting, but then I have to give them credit, and I don't want to do that, so I'll do it myself. Because those people deserve no credit, okay? Vespasian Judah's in the house. Hey, how you doing, Judah? 100%, it's hard to know who someone is when all you see is the snippets of their videos and live streams. Women are his Achilles heel. That and substances. Yes, I agree, Vespasian, Judea. Okay. Patrick S. Yeah, it was pathetic. I never could look at him the same after that. The Muffin Man, Kiwi Farms blocked me like the biatches they are. Yeah, don't bother with these people. They have no lives, okay? They're a bunch of losers, okay? All right. Patrick S. Styx once said he was something of a Casanova. Have you seen the women that he's been with? Like, dude, I'm going to tell you guys something you need to understand. If you have no standards, you can get plenty of chicks, okay? It's not hard. If you value that kind of stuff, which I don't anymore because I value peace more when I was younger, but I actually had standards, you know. I was a pretty good-looking guy, too, so it really wasn't a problem. But if you want to just bang skanks and hoes, it's real easy. Okay? And if you're semi-famous like Styx, I mean, you know, and have no standards, yeah, it's not hard. Okay? Trust me. I mean, just look at that Nikki broad. If you want to bang fat broads at land whales, go ahead. It's not hard at all. Spacing Judah, he could have had it all in Amsterdam. Yeah, I don't know, man. He couldn't. The guy he can't handle responsibility. I think the drug dealer story is BS, as do I. Something. Well, supposedly the drug dealer was the stepfather of Liz. Well, not stepfather, but like the long-time boyfriend of Liz's mother, from what I understand. And a drug dealer, he's like a pharmaceutical rep or something, or involved in pharmaceuticals. And he took umbrage with Styx abusing her. So he put him in a headlock and threatened him. And then Styx ran away. Patrick S. Or something to that effect. Chappy Chap. He's been married twice already. Yeah, his first marriage was some Latino broad in Texas or something. IB Taba. Whatever happened to that Glock he used? I think the police took it for evidence, I believe. Yeah, I think the Vermont police have that. Scan Nerd. I used to think he made some decent talking points, but I noticed some things weren't right. Yeah. You ain't kidding. Spacing Judah, yeah. He had a Hispanic wife when he was much younger. Mexican lady. I think he gets bored very easily. The Muffin Man. Styx lived in Arizona for some time. What? Styx lived in Arizona? Okay. Interesting. Trent's out here gaining weight. He unalive. No, dude, he's not. We would have found evidence. I would have found evidence. Dude, I searched the entirety of the New York City database. He's not unalive. Okay. I mean, if he unalived, it's been within the last 24 hours, okay? Then there might not be a record if it was that soon. Spacey Judah, I never knew that, but it aligns with finding a Mexican wife. Would make sense. Scan Nerd, can hear you fine now? Okay. The Muffin Man, he might be gone. Possible. John Musser, the potato buried him in the backyard. Now she threw him in the freezer with the cat. Remember that cat? Borange? At that $3,000 grift he tried to do? Can you help me bury my dead cat? It'll only cost $3,000. I mean, sweetheart, get a shoebox. Okay? It's free. Shoebox and a shovel. Ain't got a shovel? Go to Home Depot. $10. Problem solved. Vespasian Judah. I hope not. I don't want Styx to pass over. I hold out redemption for him. When it comes to him, I'm like a Jedi, always trying to provide an off-ramp for his quirks and issues. Scan nerd, his ego got the best of him. Yeah, I think so too. Well, that's the case with all these locals, man. All these locals, they get ginormous egos. Totally, completely lacking in self-awareness, man. The fame goes right to their heads. James Reed, is there any new Ralph and Scar news? I've tried doing content on that Ethan Ralph guy. Nobody watches it. The fat man and little cokehead have the market cornered on that stuff. Everybody that watches Ethan Ralph stuff tunes into them. Nobody else is talking about them. Very few people anyway. Because they don't get views. Scan nerd. I'm not the greatest, but Styx is too old to be acting the way he is. I agree. Trent out here gaining weight. Fingers crossed. Selgris. They aren't ready for Styx yet. Suffatarl. Oh, yeah. The Demon Wolf and Stolas. Yeah. Patrick. I wonder if Styx ever read... Oh, I don't know. Patrick S. Styx said he never wants to grow up. Well, I mean, he is grown up, just not a very mature guy. Scan nerd. Is Aleister Crowley one of Tarl's heroes? I think so. Yeah, Aleister Crowley. Oh, jeez. That guy was a total goofball. Another goofball. He was a heroin addict, too. This is a guy that went into the desert for days. He drew a circle of conjuration, and he actually summoned a demon into the circle while he was standing in it. So, like, literally, he let himself get possessed. Like, he wanted to get possessed by a demon. And from his story, he did. It's like, what? Dude, are you nuts? Yeah, dude's nuts. He died broke. He died a broke stumblebum, just like Styx. Living with some broad that was enamored with him. Another cautionary tale there, yeah. Trent's out there gaining weight, says he's homeless, yeah. CJ is in the room. Hey, CJ, how you doing? Yeah, it sounds like he changed locations. Selgris, Patrick, okay. Warm tips. Styx is one of those adults with Peter Pan syndrome. Indeed. Jack Sparrow syndrome. John Musser. He's in the freezer with the cat. I love it. Yeah, I called. He might be. The potato seemed a little deranged, so hard to say. Trent's at it anyway. He can't change his laptop. His laptop ain't broke. Look, even when he claimed his laptop was broke in the past, he used his cell phone. He still has a cell phone. So, if he's not posting, it's because he's given up on life completely, or he's homeless and can't afford his cell phone service any longer, right? Like, if he's homeless, he can't charge his cell phone. Where's he going to charge his cell phone? I mean, how many public outlets are there? Not too many. So that would explain it. All right? He's homeless. He can't charge his phone. Yeah, take your pick. Patrick S. Styx has mentioned CG a bunch. I guess he's seen him as a kindred spirit. Oh, Gigi. Who's Gigi? I don't know who Gigi is. Trent out there gaining weight as long as Charles is suffering. Come on. I don't want anybody to suffer. But, I mean, it's certainly earned. For sure. CJ says he's probably in a homeless shelter in some place around New York. It's possible. I guess. But if I were him, I would just go back to Vermont. Face the music there. Maybe he quietly went back to Vermont, right? Possible. Subverse 2. I have no idea where that bum Styx is. He's likely drunk with the potato. Well, she does drink. We know that. Selgris, CJ548, I'm changing my vote. Hardenberg 3. Is it possible that Tarl is hospitalized? These are for either for physical or psychiatric reasons. Oh! I hadn't thought of that. It's possible. I didn't check hospitals. I'll do that this weekend. I'll search all of the psychiatric and hospital records. I'll search hospitals in Brooklyn and the surrounding boroughs. see if he was admitted. Very good idea. Thank you. I wish I had thought of that. He could be in the hospital. Dude's health is terrible. Probably has liver failure. Oh, man. Selger, Sanctuary City Styx. Yeah. Vespasian Judah. That's not true. He has written his own unique works. Has he? I don't know. I haven't seen any of them. I'm not saying you're wrong, but where are they? Vespasian Judah. Most of it's republished old stuff, but I own one of his books. Really? Is it any good? CJ says, yeah, he might be in a nursing home or something, a hospice. People dying of AIDS. You really think he has AIDS? Well, the guy has banged a lot of low-class, low-brow hoes. I guess it's possible. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to use protection. He wants maximal pleasure, right? Out of every engagement, so he's probably going ungloved. Scan Nerd says he's definitely got to get that tooth fixed to have even a drop of aura back. Dude, I don't know that it would make any difference. Brother Weaver, I replied about Styx is Alex Jones interview. Yeah, I saw that. Found the video on BitChute since then it was shut down. Styx avoids the whole 666 while talking to AJ about the election. Better than some Jeremy. Well, that's a pretty low bar. Kalashnikova. Styx equals meth trailer park Casanova. Yeah. Chappy chap. Dude's on meth still. Look at the muscles in those biceps. It's pretty bad. I know. It's really bad. The Muffin Man. Metatron is a lolcow. Metatron? Who's that? It sounds familiar. Let me check this out. Guy, yeah, I'm sorry. I know you don't like the dead air. Who does? But if somebody mentions something in chat and I don't look it up now, I won't remember it later on. Metatron. Okay. Who is Metatron? I mean, other than an angel. Yeah. Isn't that a higher order archangel? Metatron YT? Oh, okay, wait, Metatron. Oh, this guy? He's not a lolcow, is he? I've seen this guy's videos. He's not bad. Well, he's got the absolute wrong take on Candace Owens in regards to her interview with Andrew Wilson. But I don't think he's a lolcow. That's definitely punching up, though. I guess I could talk about him. It's good crossover content, right? To review. Dip into that large audience. But he's got 1 million subs. Okay, that's true. A large channel doesn't mean you're not a lolcow. Look at Jeremy. If you say he's a lolcow, I mean, I'll look at some of his content. I can definitely comment on his takes on Candace Owens. By the way, guys, I am no fan of Candace Owens, okay? Anybody thinking just because I'm anti-Andrew Wilson in their debate that I'm somehow pro-Candace, that's like a false dichotomy. That's not true at all. I think she says a lot of dumb crap. It's just that Andrew said a lot more dumb crap, and she was on the money in a lot of the stuff she said. Not claims, but opinions. I agree with a lot of her opinions on this case, and she's just asking questions. Meanwhile, Andrew Wilson, 30-odd 6 bullets. They fragment of their own volition in midair. Yeah, okay, buddy. Non-frangible rounds do that, yeah. Believe me, pal, I've shot guns more than you. I've never had a round just fly apart in the air, okay? I'm an expert marksman, and I can tell you that they don't do that, all right? Oh, but I say they do. Only because it's possible. He keeps doubling down. But it's possible. Well, yeah, sure. But highly improbable. But anyway, thank you. I'll check him out. I'm not sure what takes he has that are lolcow level, but I'll take a look at his recent content and see if there's anything to dunk on. You know, there might be some good stuff there. I don't know. Chap, I think that was a lie. He's just trying to get money, and he thought he could tug at the heartstrings without having to use himself as the reason. Brother Weaver, I need your philosophical opinion here. Is Styx a victim from Arrested Development, or is it all by choice? Well, I think that the choices are because of, to a certain extent, the Arrested Development. So he used substances, he used drugs, early on in his life, which arrested his development, which led to poor decision making, right? He didn't mature enough to develop the kind of mental faculties required, like those of an actual adult, to make good decisions. Not to mention the fact that his parents enabled him. So part of his arrested development is biological, because the dude probably suffered from neglect early on in his childhood. I mean, look at his parents, Night Stalker and freaking pothead mom, Pam. So there was a lot of neglect. The guy lived a very solitary, very insulated life. He had very few, if any, friends, very little exposure or social interaction with other people, didn't get a lot of opportunities to develop social skills, didn't get a lot of interaction with others, didn't get a lot of interaction in the real world. His parents obviously didn't give him much, if any, responsibility, like, okay, mow the lawn and we'll pay you $5. Here's an allowance, but you have to do these chores. So he didn't really develop the kind of responsibility. He wasn't exposed to responsibilities. He never had to develop an ability to deal with adult responsibilities and adult decision-making and problem-solving skills. So the arrested development is both biological from the substances from a young age, as well as environmental from parents who essentially babied and coddled him and did not inculcate the necessary life skills required to be a functioning, able adult, mentally or physically. Anyway, Dashing Rogue, maybe he's in the Huskow on another charge. Yeah, but I looked at all the... I could do a more in-depth search over the weekend, but I mean, he would have shown up in the system if I searched, unless he's been like taken into custody within 24 hours. Patrick, maybe he had another stroke. He never had a stroke. I can't believe people are still bandying that nonsense about the dude had no stroke. That is all made up. A lot of you saying this don't know what the origins of that were. It started as him claiming to have had a seizure. And that was to avoid showing up for court in Vermont. Way back in like February 2nd or 3rd. It evolved into him claiming it was a stroke. And he said that it was a stroke because his mom diagnosed him. She first thought it was a seizure. But then she changed her mind and said it was a stroke. So his mother diagnosed his so-called stroke. It's all nonsense, man. Anybody believes that, you're an idiot. No offense. Okay. Kalashnikov, Brother Weaver, Styx's parents were druggies and his dad was a criminal. It's obvious he didn't have discipline or structure. Precisely. Right? It's up to parents, okay, to foster the kind of interactions and motivations that lead to being able to handle responsibility. They didn't do any of that, from what I understand. CJ says Metatron's a dork. I'll check him out. That's definitely punching up, yo. Muffin Man, the guy with long hair. Yeah, I know who he is. I've seen some of his content. CJ says Metatron is a dork, and he's not dumb. He's a little blue-pilled. He's a lot blue-pilled. Okay, well, that gives me something to work with. John Musser, Candace, Alex Tucker got paid. The Muffin Man, he's a super dork. Scan Nerd says, what's wrong with Metatron? I don't know, dude. Yeah, give me a name. I asked for locales. They gave me the name. I'll check it out. I got like 4 new prospects from this stream, so I'm good. Chappy Chap. I always liked Andrew Wilson, but he was always begging big time for money, like hardcore. So when I found out he was LARPing for TPUSA, I knew he finally got his money he was after. Oh, absolutely. By the way, I don't think people understand. Donations is one of the best ways to launder money. I mean, did anybody watch Breaking Bad? You think that was science fiction or fantasy? No. It's literally one of the best ways to launder money. You want to pay somebody off? Make it a donation, right? It's not hard. It's very easy to do, in fact. This guy's like a nobody, but he's got one of the highest grossing, super chatted live streams there is. How? Well, because he's bought and paid for. That's how, in my opinion. CJ says Metatron is pompous. Well, I would agree with that. I've seen enough of his content, I could say that. The Dashing Rogue, the 30-06 round is the smoking gun. The damage that was done to Kirk would have been far worse. I saw that thing. Dude, I saw one of them bullets go through 2 cow femurs and 2 cinder blocks and just keep going. And then the air thing, right? Oh, the bullet displaces air. Meanwhile, some dude actually proved that totally completely wrong. Set up some balloons, set up some playing cards, and then set up a target, and the bullet flew within millimeters of the balloons and the cards. They didn't move. Hardly at all. By the way, I've seen the video of Charlie Kirk supposedly getting shot. It was an explosion. It was a shape charge. Watch the video. That's obviously an explosion. That ain't no bullet. I question how many people out there have actually watched that video in slow motion. It's like, dude, that's a shape charge. It's a shape charge. Anyway. Muffin Man, Metatron LARPs as a historian, guru, and Griffs as a right-winger, and has long, gay hair. CJ, Metatron's like a psychopath or whatever. He just acts nice. I mean, sociopath. Scan Nerd, Metatron is all right by me, but I haven't seen his take on Candace versus Andrew. Yeah, I haven't either. I'm going to watch it. The Muffin Man, I don't trust any 45-year-old man with long hair. Oh, is he 45? Really? Okay. Scan Nerd, I can't stand Candace. She's so fake. But I do agree there's something suspect with the Kirk unaliving, for sure. CJ548. Yeah. By the way, have you looked at the pictures in the video? Supposedly showing Tyler Robinson. It's like, that's not the guy. The video and the pictures that are supposedly him are way bigger. I mean, Tyler Robinson is 150 pounds. The guy in the pictures is like 180. Much more built in the upper body. It's like, that's not Tyler, yo. CJ548, yeah, it was super obvious Styx was making up the seizure thing just to try to get out of going. Well, also to get donations, right? The Muffin Man, Megan Kelly wishes she was Candace. No. Yeah, Candace is making some big buku buck show. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh! And so Chrome won a $20 super chat. Greetings from the middle of nowhere. Oh! Everybody thank And So Chrome for his very generous super chat. Oh, baby! I love me $20 super chats. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. And So Chrome, you are my new best friend. No, you're a friend anyway. We've talked quite a bit offline. You know, good guy. Thank you very much, man. I greatly appreciate it. John Musser, politicians get book deals to get paid. Correct. You are right. Absolutely. The Muffin Man, Nick Fuentes is the worst of them all. Yeah, didn't he date Andrew Wilson's daughter, who's now a muff? ... You know, muncher? Did he drive her to that? I wonder. Scanner, the area where Kirk bled from turned white right before it spewed. Oh my God! Didn't they plow that over? Like within days, they like a backhoe like tore it up and paved it. Some weird stuff going on, man. Chappy Chap, I've never heard of Metatron. I've watched some of his stuff. He's not untalented. I mean, he has talent, but I mean, I've only watched like 2 or 3 of his videos, so I can't honestly say if he's a lolcow or not. He seems to be doing pretty well, but he might have some cringy takes. So I'll check him out, see if there's anything to work with there. CJ says, I've seen projectiles not even make it all the way out of the end of the barrel, so it's possible it was traveling at a far slower velocity. They're called duds. I mean, dude, watch the video. But it wasn't a bullet. I mean, it literally, the underneath his shirt exploded. Like, poof, and then in the back at the same time. It was just, obviously, it was an explosion under the shirt. The Dashing Rogue. The whole pyrotechnics at TPUSA Memorial event was odd as hell. Scary and highly in poor taste. It was like a WWE event. Yeah, dude. John Musser. Hunter sold poop paintings to get paid. Oh, God. Don't get me started on Hunter Biden. And so Chrome, thank you very much for your super chat, man. Oh, thank you. All right, I'm going to move on here. So we've got some TJ Kirk, moronic ramblings, that guy. You know, a lot of his fans, probably just stock accounts of his, have been showing up in my comments telling me to respond to his reply to me. It's not even practically possible. The guy just took, like, he didn't respond to my video. He just cherry picked segments so that he could delete and ignore and leave on the cutting room floor any stuff that made him look bad. And they took little parts of things I said, he cherry picked out of context segments, and then commented on those. So he didn't reply to but a few minutes of my video. So I can't really reply. He also made a lot of stuff up that is very difficult for me to reply to. I would literally have to go back and rewatch the video that I already responded to, and then I would have to reply in a similar manner as he did, meaning cutting out portions and then replying to said portions. That's not my process. I do everything in real time. This guy has to script everything because he has no ability think logically, reasonably, critically in the moment. He needs lots of time. He needs lots of space to mull it over. His thought processes do not seem to be up to par, up to snuff. Low steam individual. His brain isn't functioning on, all cylinders, so he's very slow. So he's got to script everything. Just a lot of time, scripting, and doing his little cherry picking, cutting pieces out of videos and then replying, not live. Meanwhile, I do everything live in real time. He doesn't have the talent for that. So, I mean, we have a very different process, so I can't functionally respond to his video. I mean, I could, but it would take forever. It's just not worth it. Like, the videos that him got okay views, but it wasn't like multi-thousands or anything. So the return on investment is garbage. So the amount of time it would take to effectively reply, it's not worth it. But I can dunk on his other nonsense, for sure, in real time. Scan Nerd DK. The alleged picture of Taylor is stretched and altered, though. No. It's just... It was not. It's just that it was shot in widescreen, and then it was presented in court on a different size. So it wasn't altered in the way you're thinking. John Musser, all the Ukraine aid went to the banksters. Yeah. Wednesday, Kirk's skin turned white in a circular area right before. Yeah, dude, he wasn't shot, in my opinion. Anybody want to see me cover this guy? TJ? I don't know. The guy, the amazing atheist goofball. All right. I don't know that I want to. I don't like the guy. He's just so scatterbrained and equivocates constantly. And he accuses you of what he's guilty of. Just total, complete projection. That's like, that guy, he's a lot like Styx in that he is contrary to be contrary, right? I'm not sure if I guess I can. I guess I can reply. I guess I can comment on one of his videos. It is entertaining, for sure, to see this guy, bumble and blather. Oh, his nonsense. I will admit it is amusing to a certain extent. Anyway, he did a few videos on chaos magic and Discordianism. Dude, send me the links. Chaos magic? Magic? What? This guy believes in magic? I thought he was an atheist. Now he believes in magic. He's been watching too many Styx videos, yo. CJ, I don't like that guy's kind of repulsive. Yeah, the whole banana thing. Clutch Grove. I sent a lot of TJ links by email. If nothing else, oh, the fatties of the world. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. We'll see. I think he made this video because I opened his eyes a bit. This guy's very easy to needle. Like, he's very emotionally manipulatable. He's very weak-minded. Right. So he's got a huge ego, which is to say he's got a very fragile ego. Everybody that actually appears to have... I'll give you a little bit of insight into humans. People who appear to have huge egos are actually extremely insecure. And it's always overcompensation. Okay? To hide the fact that they're very insecure. And their egos are actually quite fragile. Okay? Just so you know. Fatties of the world unite. Really? Oh, maybe that's more interesting. Let me take a look at that. I was going to comment on his video, Am I Trans? It's really cringe. But, fatties of the world. Let me see. What do we got? Can I even find it? The struggle to be real? Oh, God. Ah! Okay. Well, it's short. 16 minutes. I think I could comment on this. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Brother Weaver. The Chaos Magic link? Dude, I'm already in the middle of the stream. I can't, like, be bopping about. Send me an email with it, or I'll look myself, but I'll forget. Like, anything you tell me in chat, I won't remember after the show. My memory's garbage, yo. All right. So, you know. But give me a sec. I'm going to do a sound check here. You're going to hear this this fat guy's voice, this banana penetrator. So, you know, brace yourself.
Yeah, bitch. I'm going full SJW for this one. So listen up.
Oh, God. He's doing the wigger. He's doing the wigger accent. Oh, boy. Brace yourself.
Yeah, bitch. I'm going full SJW for this one. So listen up.
Oh, God. Wow. That's cringy. That's super cringy. Yeah, okay. I think this is going to be good. I can really dunk on this.
This video is...
All right. Another sound check. I think this might be too loud, though.
for fat men in particular.
Oh, boy. Well, that's you for sure, pal.
Yeah, bitch. I'm going full SJW for this one.
Wow, this guy's pretty pathetic. I'm only talking now to do a comparison of his voice beside mine to make sure they're about the same level, so...
So listen up.
Listen up.
This video is for fat men in particular. If you're...
That's you, pal, for sure. All right, quick sound check. Doing the wigger. He's doing the wigger.
W for this one.
Wow.
Is for fat men in particular. If you're...
That's you, pal, for sure. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Screen capture. Check. Infinity me. My beautiful face. Check, 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 check. And let us begin. Oh, yeah. This guy, he's going to flip out. I love it. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher. And this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So we have this pug-faced individual here named TJ Kirk, I believe. He used to call himself the Amazing Atheist. Now he believes in a myriad of gods and practices chaos magic and magic because that's what atheists and skeptics do. They believe in ghouls, goblins, magic, wizardry, witchcraft, all this superstitious crap. And this video looked very comical to me. One of my followers said I should cover it, and it looks pretty funny. So I think we should check it out and hear what this goofball has to say. Shall we?
Going full SJW for this one. Yeah, bitch. I'm going full SJW for this one. So listen up. This video is for fat men in particular. If you're a fat dude, this message is for you.
Cope. Yeah, you're definitely a big dude.
If you're a fat chick, it's kind of for you, but not as much.
By the way, this is scripted. He doesn't really do on-the-fly content. His brain just doesn't have the processing power to work that fast, right? Yeah, this is all scripted, which would make me believe it should be better than it is.
If you a skinny or you a muscly, fuck off. This ain't your shit. Because you know what? For no apparent reason, I woke up this morning pissed off about Porkins.
You're pissed off. Dude, you seem terminally pissed off.
You know, I'm
perpetually pissed, I should say.
Talking about the X-Wing pilot at the end of Star Wars A New Hope. You know, fat men, we don't get a lot of cool characters. So we just kind of take what we can get. And I remember being a fat little boy and seeing that big man piloting an X-Wing and thinking like, wow, cool. And immediately I find out his name is Porkins.
That's kind of funny. Yeah. Okay.
Wedge Biggs. Porkins.
Yeah, I remember that guy. And I remember thinking, the fat guy's named Porkins. Okay. Interesting.
Fuck you, George Lucas. You know? And of course, Porkins doesn't even get to do anything cool. He just gets blown up immediately.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happens to fat people in the military, yo. Their reflexes aren't so good, you know? They're in bad shape, man.
I checked around to see.
They're good cannon fodder, but beyond that, they're not too useful.
Whether Lucas has ever addressed this shit, and as far as I can tell, he ain't. But the actor who played Porkins, William Hootkins, silly name, but whatever. You know.
It's a fat guy name, yeah.
He said when he first saw the name in the script, he wondered whether they were going to fucking put him in, like, pig ears and a snout. You know?
Is that true? Did that really happen? I have to look that up.
This isn't Star Wars, you know, only offense against fat fucks of the world either.
Really?
It also brought us Jabba the Hutt, and every fat person has been called Jabba before, you know? You think that with an
well, only when they look kind of like Jabba, like you, pal.
Obesity rate of 40.3% in America, fat people get a little more fucking deference these days.
That's overall. Women, it's actually more like 63% or something. Women are far more obese than men.
Like, there are more fatsos in America than there are black people or Asians or trans people or gay people.
Yeah.
Or any other.
Yeah, we're a decadent country, pal. Yeah, I know.
Other demographic group that Hollywood now fucking grovels before in terror. Now, in fairness.
Yeah, they want you fat. They want you lazy. They want you unhealthy. Because when you're like that, you're very easy to control through your appetites.
There's been a concerted effort to portray fat women a little bit more positively.
Of course. Because men don't generally want fat chicks. Generally speaking. It's just a move to further depopulate the planet, i.e. the depopulation agenda that this guy probably knows nothing about. I would say for sure he knows nothing about it. He doesn't know much about anything. He does LARP as somebody who pretends LARP is somebody who knows a lot while knowing more or less nothing, very little anyway, of note.
But not only do fat men not get much in the way of positive representation, we still get the sort of fucking treatment that Hollywood was giving every other minority back in like the 1930s.
Well, they're not a minority. Aren't the majority of Americans overweight? Well, he says it's 40%. I think that's wrong. I mean, obese, but overweight, no. The majority of the population is overweight. They might not all qualify as obese, but which is, I believe, a third or more of your body weight is fat. But you don't have to be that fat to be overweight.
All that problematic shit. For example, in the recent Avengers Endgame,
this guy curses a lot, by the way. He tries too hard to be edgy, all right? Just like Styxhexhammer666. They have a lot in common, by the way.
One of the big, hilarious moments in the film.
Except this guy had the, foresight to actually monetize his channel.
Is that the previously muscular Thor is now fat and depressed.
Mm-hmm. And
I remember...
Like you.
Seeing that in the theater, big laughs from the audience. Thor's fat, like 2 out of every 5 Americans.
It's more than that, okay? I mean, if you're under 33% body fat, you wouldn't be classified necessarily as obese, but you would still be overweight, so.
How funny.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was not a big fan of that. The way they fatified Thor, that was cringe, man.
Or take the...
But that wasn't so much about fat people as it was about diminishing his character because he was a man, right, in a prominent role. So, so they wanted to dunk on men, essentially, demasculinize him and make a joke out of him, right?
Penguin in the Batman or the acclaimed HBO series. He's fat, he's ugly, and he's played by a handsome, in-shape guy under basically 60 pounds of goddamn prosthetics. Now, don't get me wrong. Colin Farrell did a good fucking job in that.
Isn't the Penguin supposed to be fat, though? Isn't he fat in canon?
Goddamn role. And I ain't going to deny for a second that he did. I mean,
I didn't watch that, so I don't know.
He was great. He was good. Very good.
I don't watch very much TV. It has to be a really, really good show for me to watch it. And then I'll wait until it's been out for like 3-4 seasons so I can binge watch all of it.
But at the same time, when we had a role in the past like fat mobster, we used to give that to an actual fat fuck. And I got a question like, how is this motherfucker putting on a fat suit any different in principle from John Wayne playing a goddamn Mongolian or Mickey Rooney playing a Chinese guy?
I think there's a bit of a difference, race, ethnicity, and just being a blob. I mean, I guess you could say that he's pretending to be something he's not, so it's the same in that sense. By the way, that's hilarious.
You're taking the appearance of a group of people, converting it into a goddamn costume, and depriving actors from that group of any goddamn work.
Well, they're actors, so they're pretending to be somebody else right from the get-go, so who cares? What do I care? Some guy puts on a fat suit, so what?
And if you think this
guy he's creatively bankrupt. Dude, you got nothing else you can talk about? That's it? Complaining about fat people not getting representation in movies? I mean, most of the population is overweight, even if they don't reach the level of, being obese. By the way, the majority of women are obese, so. It's the men that bring the average down.
This is just a bunch of whiny shit. I mean, to be fair, it is.
Well, you're the one whining.
But do me a favor. Imagine if instead of James Gandolfini, the Sopranos had decided they were going to cast some, svelte, beautiful actor and just put him in a fucking fat suit every episode, even if that actor did well in that role, he'd have been depriving Gandolfini of the role and thus depriving us of Gandolfini's fucking excellence in the damn role.
Well, how do we know that another actor couldn't have done a better job? Who's to say to the thin guy in a fat suit couldn't have done as good a job or better? Who's depriving anybody of a role, by the way? I mean, this is SJW nonsense, too. It's like fat DEI, yo. He's arguing for fat DEI. Well, we need more fat representation in movies. We ain't got enough fat people. What about merit? Oh, well, meh. They should have, yeah, man, have merit and be fat. What if they can't find somebody who's both fat and has the merit to fit the role, right? Well, if the thin guy fits the role perfectly, we can just put a fat suit on him. He should be fat naturally. I mean, but what if they couldn't find anybody that was fat who could play the role as well? Doesn't matter. He should get the role anyway, even if he's not as good an actor. And this is like DEI, this guy. It's arguing for it just for fat people.
Every time you see a skinny actor playing a fat character, that's a fat actor that went undiscovered. And when fat men do appear, we're still disproportionately villains and slobs and losers and gluttons and comic relief and cautionary tales and...
Well, aren't they gluttons? Like, by default? If they're big, fat, floppy pigs like you? Yeah.
Tragedies. Like, take that piece of shit, The Whale, for example. That Academy Award-winning piece of shit.
I haven't seen that, but I should see that. Yeah.
Starring Brendan Fraser in his goddamn comeback role.
Brendan Fraser's a great actor, by the way. His poor health and his, like, obesity is mostly due to the fact that he suffered so many injuries throughout his career because he did a lot of his own stunts, and he has numerous back issues, and he's not able to be very active. So that has a lot to do with it.
You know, we have a story about a morbidly obese man, and it's basically treated like it's a body horror movie about fatness. They did not make a movie about a fat man. They made a movie about a man trapped in a fat body.
He's so personally offended. He takes personal umbrage with all this. He's like, yeah, because he's that character, right?
And I know,
how much does this guy weigh? About 350 pounds? I mean, he's a fat guy, for sure.
I know everyone's going to say, well, but the film was sympathetic to him. It was sympathetic. Bullshit. It pities him. It's like,
as you should. You should be pitied and ridiculed and shamed. Then maybe you'll lose weight. Stop eating so many surplus calories, You can feed a whole Chinese village probably with what you eat, pal.
Like, look at the poor, wretched monster. Look at what he's become. Once upon a time, he was a human being like you, but through the cumulative force of his own appetites, he's degraded into this gargantuan, immobile fucking thing.
I'll say he objects to the truth being told. Got it.
And of course, the catalyst has to be depression.
But aren't you depressed? Haven't you yourself said you're depressed a lot of the time?
Just be a motherfucker likes to eat.
No. Well, I mean, you could be a food addict, but it's a coping mechanism at that point, and an addiction.
Has to be depression. Has to be...
Yeah, it's a form of self-medicating, pal.
Some underlying psychological horse shit.
Yes.
Because
it's not horse shit, pal. You're just in denial, because you got a lot of problems, which is why you overeat. And why most people overweight. Overweight, eat too much. It's a coping mechanism, all right? That's all it is.
Because when Hollywood wants male fatness to be dramatic, it makes it all about depression. When it wants it to be comedic, it makes it all about oafishness, lack of self-control.
It is about lack of self-control. There's definitely a lack of self-control, pal, if you can't stop eating.
And millions upon millions of fat men just, accept these portrayals without demanding anything fucking better. Because fat men have been trained to accept this shabby goddamn treatment. We're encouraged to join in on it for fuck's sake, like...
Well, shouldn't you be treated shabbily? I think so. We need some kind of deterrent.
We gotta laugh at the fat joke before anyone thinks we're offended. You gotta call yourself a disgusting piece of shit before anybody else gets the chance to.
Well, dude, let's be honest here. I mean, do you ever stand up and let us see the rest of your body? You are kind of a disgusting POS, man, okay? You are. You're a big fat sloppy pig land whale, all right? You are. And I'm not saying anything this guy hasn't said himself. He knows it. At least he's that self-aware. I mean, come on, pal.
You got to assure everyone all the time that being fat is unhealthy.
Well, it is.
Every time I've ever made a video like this defending my fatness, I've always...
Why would you defend it? Why? That's not good, man. You're a deleterious influence on society, man. We need less of you, not more.
Said, well, I know fat is unhealthy, and I'm not ever doing that again.
Well, why not? It is unhealthy. And you're eating a lot of surplus calories. Doesn't that go against your whole SJW, lefty, libtardo view of the world? I mean, you're eating all this excess food that poor people could be eating. You know, you could clean out your cupboards, eat a normal diet, buy the same amount of food you did as a fat guy, but give it away to charity, right? To poor people, to people who don't have food, right? Or you could give the money that you would normally spend on all that food, which I'm sure is quite considerable, considering how large you are, and give it to charity, right? Why don't you do that? Nah, I'd rather deprive other people because I'm eating all this food that other people could get. Oh, by the way, I'm steel manning his view of the world, not mine.
You got to make excuses for your fucking body constantly as a fat dude.
Yeah.
Men are already trained not to complain when something hurts them. And you
Oh, that almost sounds like a red pill kind of viewpoint. But you don't believe in that stuff, right? You don't believe in those descriptors of objective reality.
add fatness to that, and you're expected to become your own fucking insult comic.
Yeah.
If as a fat man, you demand better treatment, then they accuse you of normalizing an unhealthy lifestyle. Well, guess what?
Why should I treat you better? You're disgusting. Why would I treat you better?
40 fucking percent of motherfuckers are fat. It's already...
No, it's more than that. That's more than that if you go by sex. Again, men are not quite as chunky as ladies because it has not been made socially acceptable. Body positivity has not yet extended to men because, we got to do all the tough, hard physical labor jobs. And if you're a 400-pound Landwell blob of a man, it's not too functionally possible.
Normalized, bitch. What's your new excuse for not fucking giving us any sort of representation?
Yeah, meanwhile, women just push papers around on a desk and do busy work in air-conditioned offices so they can be big, fat, sloppy land whales.
It's not like we're asking doctors to prescribe cheeseburgers or some shit. Put a fat person in a movie without humiliating them. That's what we're fucking asking you to do.
Nah, don't do that, man. We need to shame these kind of people. We need to shame people like this guy so they'll lose weight. We need to bring back shame. Shame is good, okay? This guy should be ashamed, all right? I mean, not just for being a big fat slob, but, for his SJW libtard nonsense that he pushes. But anyway.
And suddenly it's like, oh, you're promoting obesity.
But you are.
Now, this one in particular is actually more true of female fatness than male fatness, to be fair. But let's be honest here. Health is not their fucking concern because they don't give a shit. Like if a character smokes, you don't see anyone bitching about that from a health perspective. Like, oh, they're encouraging smoking. They're normalizing smoking. And if anyone does say that shit, they're considered a whiny busybody who needs to shut the fuck up and get a damn life. When a character drinks too much, it's often portrayed as cool. Oh, what a tortured soul. What a dangerous, sexy thing. A thin dude slowly drinking himself to death is like the brooding anti-hero, but a fat dude eating a sandwich, oh, what a fucking slob. So,
I love it. He butthurt, man.
These people don't really give a fuck about health. What they're really concerned with,
well, you don't either,
is they don't like seeing fat people. And when they do see us, they only want to see us when we're mocked and or miserable.
Yes, of course. Okay, because that's good. Because mocking and ridiculing you is good. There's a reason gluttony's a sin, okay?
And I want to make it clear, everyone should be mocked, okay?
Oh, of course! Of course, everybody should be mocked, right? I love this. Don't mock me because I'm a fat pig. Mock everybody. Why? I'm not a fat slob. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm thin. I'm healthy. Even after my illness 2 years ago. I've regained a lot of my former health, though not all. Heart attack and a stroke, they have side effects, but definitely even healthier. I'm healthier than this guy for sure. Why would I be mocked? I mean, don't you have to have something to be mocked for?
Everyone should be joked about. I don't believe.
No, I don't think so. I think you just want things to be like that so that, you're not alone in being mocked and shamed and ridiculed, right? Yeah, of course. This is all self-serving twaddle.
Even no sacred cows. I think making fun of anyone for their weight is fine.
But you should make fun of everybody for things that are not detrimental to them or harmful or would, deteriorate their health or damage society. And essentially encourage other people to tread the same path, which is dangerous and unhealthy. But you shouldn't mock them. Or if you mock them, you should mock other people for their healthy lifestyles. What? Mockery and ridicule is a deterrent. You pinhead. You don't get it.
Like it's fine to make fun of their sexuality or their intelligence or their race.
Why would I make fun of somebody for being straight? Why? That's good. We want people to have babies. We don't want societies, we don't want Western cultures, we don't want any cultures that are below replacement rates. Well, there's probably a few that I would like, but they're having tons of babies. Meanwhile, Whitey ain't having none. Oh, but you want to mock and ridicule that. Ah, that makes sense.
Or their height or their hairline or any fucking thing else.
Why would you make fun of people for aspects of themselves that they have no control over? Their height. I don't make fun of people because they're short or tall. Okay? I wouldn't do that. They have no control over that. What is he talking about? Talk about false conflations here, pal.
Can't be scared of fucking jokes. But here's the thing. In the current media landscape, almost...
Well, I mean, I'm not afraid of jokes. You can make jokes. I don't care. But I do find it interesting that people have to search and scramble for things to make fun of about someone. And usually they do that because there's very little, if anything, there. And it's usually things they have no control over. Meanwhile, you, who have total 100% control of your weight. Oh, no, I'm off limits. Or if you make fun of me, reinvent. I also got to make fun of this guy. I also got to be able to make fun of him because he's bald or because he's short or because he has a club foot, right? Dude, give it a rest. They're not the same.
Almost every other group of people is provided with a more balanced fucking picture than fat people are, and fat men in particular.
Balanced picture, you mean you get it rougher because you can control your weight and you choose not to, which sets a poor example for other people and sends the message that it's okay to be that way. So that message has to be countered with mockery and ridicule so other people will not choose to walk the gluttonous path, the hedonistic path that you walk, Mr. Banana Boy.
Yeah, you know, there might be a gay joke here and there. But there's also gay characters who are heroes and gay villains and gay romantic leads. And
yeah, I don't think that should be the case. The vast majority of the population is not gay. Okay? And we should not be encouraging that lifestyle. It leads to the human population going extinct. We're already below replacement. Within 3 generations of coming to develop Western countries, people from third world countries are also below replacement in those Western countries. So, dude, what are you talking about? We don't want to encourage that stuff at all.
You know, the gay man is allowed to be more than just gay. The same is increased.
Well, meanwhile, most of these gay people, that's the entirety of who they are. That seems to be the entirety of who and what they are. Oftentimes it's all they talk about. It's their identity. It's so shallow. It's so shallow. It's so facile.
Increasingly true for all these other groups. Black people, trans people, disabled people, so on and so forth. But the fat person...
So we should be making fun of disabled people? Really? Is this guy for real? You're equating disability with you being a fat slob? What? This guy is not too bright.
Especially the fat man is overwhelmingly defined by being...
Oh, but I didn't mean disabled people. You just said! Oh, actually you did by your very logic. Everybody! Make fun of everybody! Everything! That would include disabled people. Wow, okay.
Being fat, and there's no fucking reason for that.
Yes, there is. It's bad for you. It's bad for our society. I mean, Jesus, you are eating up health care that you don't need to be, literally, figuratively, you're eating a lot, but you're essentially using health care that could go to people who are sick through no fault of their own. Meanwhile, your terrible, abysmal health is 100% your fault, and you use more healthcare resources, thereby depriving other people of said resources. Which is, by the way, by his worldview,
because
it's all a zero-sum game, right? Yeah.
Loved like James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano, because he was allowed to possess the full spectrum of human fucking qualities. Like, he was fat, yeah, but
that's not a quality you should endeavor to possess.
It was just one aspect of his motherfucking character.
Why do you care so much about it, huh? Because it's a personal issue for you? You're tired of getting dunked on for being a slob?
It was not the totality of him. Like,
How about you go work out and lift some weights and lose weight, pal? How about you do that? Then you don't have to worry about it. That would be too hard.
Like he was terrifying and charismatic and fucking intelligent and all these
Yeah, but it wasn't because he was fat. It was because he was a good actor.
other things. He was allowed to be a well-rounded character instead.
You're not well-rounded if you're blob. I don't think that contributes to being well-rounded, okay? I think character traits, personality traits, virtues, maybe a little bit of vice, but not a lot of vice. Not 400 pounds of vice.
Of being a character defined by his roundness. But Tony is the rare exception. And we ain't seen a motherfucker like that in a hot damn minute. Most of the time when you see a fat male character portrayed in media, it's like the writers came up with their fucking fatness first, and everything else just revolves around that. Like, what's his personality? Oh, well, he's fat. Well, what does he want? Food.
Yeah. Hollywood is a propaganda machine. They want men to become big, fat, doughboy, weakling, femtards. Yeah, like you.
Well, what is he afraid of? Exercise. Is he sexually desirable? Don't be ridiculous. His body is not just one characteristic among many. It's like the organizing fucking principle of his entire goddamn existence. Every joke, every motivation, every flaw, every reaction from the other characters all points back to him being fucking fat.
Yeah. It's a character flaw. It points to very weak moral character. It is immoral to be a blob, okay? It is harmful to you. It is harmful to others around you. You're sucking up far more resources than you need. You're encouraging others to be like you. You are setting a bad example, and you are harming yourself.
Feels like we've actually regressed on this fucking subject, because back in the 80s, we had dudes like John Candy. You know, and John Candy was a comedian, and he occasionally, there was jokes about his weight, but honestly, I don't even remember any, because that was never even close to the sole source of his comedy. It was like not even one of the top 10.
Uh-huh.
Because he brought humanity to his fucking roles. He wasn't just playing fat characters. He was playing characters that happened to be fat because he was fat.
Uh-huh.
Today, I'm not even sure what Hollywood would do with a John Candy. They probably fucking sideline him so they could put Chris Pratt in a fucking fat suit. Like John Goodman and Roseanne Barr. Back in the fucking 90s, they played big, fat, fucking American husband and wife in that fucking sitcom, Roseanne, right? One of the most popular shows on television. But their weight was not the fucking joke. Their weight was not the premise of the fucking show.
What's this point, by the way? Do you have a point?
Like, they were working class, they were broke, and they were funny, but most of the humor had nothing to do with how fucking fat they were. Like, sure, it came up, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like it was never addressed, but it wasn't fucking central. Male fatness is associated in pop culture with a few different things, none of them positive. It's associated with stupidity, which you see in these oafish characters like Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin. It's associated with greed and corruption. You know, they always got the fat politician, the fat businessman, the fat crime boss sweating behind the desk, you know? Fatness is associated with deterioration. You know, you got like the fat Thor example. Oh,
is he upset that being overweight, fat, is being portrayed more honestly? And pointing out the exact character flaws that are generally true?
Thor used to be all muscular and shit, and then he's depressed, so now he's fucking fat.
Like you. Well, you would, of course, you know. Of course, you were never actually muscular or fit, ever.
A fat woman can at least occasionally be presented as beautiful nowadays, you know? But people will immediately start screaming about glorifying obesity the second you see like an ad with a fat chick in it. But a fat man isn't even given that much. We're not even fucking given that.
When is that happening? Aren't fat broads like glazed? What are you talking about? They're constantly glazed. Give it a rest, man.
You know, a fat dude might be allowed to have like a wife, like a hot wife in a sitcom or something. But
is it just me, or does he seem to be all over the place, right? There's very little focus in regards to this guy's content creation.
the joke is always like, oh, well, she's too good for him. He's a fucking idiot. He's an oaf. He's a pig. He's a fat fucking loser.
And that's because media wants to portray men as dumb and weak and flawed and women as strong and independent, don't need no man, they're brilliant, men are oafs, women need to lead, men need to follow. That's the agenda, pal.
And this woman just inexplicably fucking is by his side. But that's like it's like the source of the humor. And that's why Porkins pisses me off so much, because for just one little second, it felt like we were going to get something. Like, wow, a fat fucking X-Wing pilot. And then we find out his name is Porkins, and he fucking dies first. It's like, ha ha ha, fuck you, fatties.
Yeah, they were hurting for personnel. I mean, if that was an actual legit military, there wouldn't be no fat dudes in the cockpit, okay? Guy probably barely even fit. Probably had to custom build it for his fat ass.
I want to see some fat motherfuckers do some cool shit on screen. I want to...
They can't. They're not physically able.
See them be played by actual fat motherfuckers.
Well, what cool stuff could they do then? They're not doing no backflips. They're not doing capoeira. What are you talking about?
You know, and I don't want to hear, oh, that's not realistic.
It's not.
I don't go to the movies for realistic. Realistic is all around me all the fucking time.
There's got to be some grounding in reality, right? We're not going to jump to the moon, okay? There's got to be some logic and reason and foundational rules that we can, you know, actually associate with, right? Personally identify with. I mean, you can only suspend disbelief to a certain extent, right?
You know, the movies for a fucking fantasy. And I'd like to see some goddamn representation for 40% of the goddamn populace, motherfucker.
There we go. Yeah, DEI nonsense, yeah.
Trans motherfuckers are all over the place.
And they shouldn't be. Mentally ill people, that's all they are. It's still in DSM-V5. It's still classified as a mental illness, and it should be. It is a mental illness, pal. Sorry.
When they're like a fraction of a percent of the populace. How the fuck?
Well, not a fraction percent anymore. It's increased by thousands of percent. It's a social contagion.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Good for them. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, they exist. Mentally ill people exist all over the place, pal. Reagan cleaned out those insane asylums, yo. They're running amok. What's your point?
But how the fuck they get it before us? I think it's because we're the...
Because they're useful tools. Because they're the very, 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 very small, marginalized percentage of the population, and they're easy to control. Very easy to control. It's very polarizing, right? They're useful tools for the powers that be.
Most hated group in America.
No, they're not. What are you talking about? Trans people are constantly being glazed and told how wonderful and awesome they are. What is this guy talking about?
We're the group that it's most socially acceptable to hate.
What are you talking about? It's nonsense. This does not map the reality. Trans people are treated like they are minor celebrities, man, which is part of why it's become so popular to become one. By the way, it's like 10-1 for male to female versus female to male. Why do you think that is?
You make fun of trans people, someone's going to take issue. You make fun of a gay dude or a black person or fucking Asian or whatever, someone's going to take issue. Even if you make fun of fat women, you're going to get some...
Didn't you just say they're the most popular to make fun of and hate? Or is he talking about fat people? I don't know. He's so all over the place. It's hard to tell.
Pushback. But if you make fun of fat men, no one fucking pushes back. Even the fat men themselves don't push back.
Well, that's just men in general. Because society in general is taught to see men as buffoons, masculinity as toxic and evil, and the root of all evil. So that's not necessarily about fatness.
And I know why not. There's two reasons. First reason is every fat man makes fun of men fatter than him so he can feel better about himself. Well, at least I ain't that fat.
Yeah.
At least I ain't that fat. Well, maybe you ain't, but you still fat, you fat fuck.
I'm not. I'm making fun of you.
You should have...
Yeah, but anyway.
Have some solidarity with that other fat fuck.
I ain't fat.
Second reason, men are trained and socialized to just go along with these insults, at least from their peers. You know, you got to act above it, show you ain't phased. But that's bullshit. No one
Well, you're not above it.
buys that. Men are fucking pussies. Every man on earth is a little crybaby bitch. That's why.
I love this. I love this because he's a big crybaby biatch. So every man is like me, right? You know, because if every man wasn't like me, then I would have to see myself as what I am, beneath most men, weak, pathetic, crybaby.
There's so much. That's why they fight so much.
This is all cope. Everybody's just like me, so the fact that I'm a fat, pathetic, whiny loser, well, oh, it's not that bad, because I'm just one of many.
Because they'll take endless shit from their in-group, but as soon as...
I mean, not just many, he's saying we're all like him. Are we all like this guy? He's a big wuss.
someone outside the group says something, it's like, you want to go, what'd you say me, motherfucker? You know? And isn't that precisely backwards?
Did he actually script this? Or is he now off script? I mean, it would explain why he's all over the place and so lacking in focus. Dude, you can't do in real time oratory. You suck at it.
Like, you don't care your friends think you're a fat tub of shit, but you're going to get mad because some stranger's saying it? The stranger is the one whose opinion you shouldn't care about.
Oh.
Now,
Yeah, you should. Absolutely you should. What are you talking about? If everybody's telling you something's true, you should probably listen, pal.
get it. Friends give each other some shit. But there's a fucking line, and fat dudes are always letting that line get crossed. Why? Because fat is not hideable. If someone's an alcoholic, up to a point, they can hide it. If they're an addict of any kind, up to a point, they can hide it. Fuck, even if they're a murderer or a rapist or something, they can hide it. The vast majority of personal flaws and failings are hideable up to a point.
So what you're really saying is, Kathy Newman, everybody is a disgusting piece of crap. So it's okay for me to be a disgusting piece of crap because everybody is. Interesting logic.
But fatness is on display 24-7.
Yep.
So these useless fucking skinny fucking twats.
Oh, there we go. Ding, 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 ding. The source of his animus. Oh, they're useless because they're skinny. Dude, you're consuming far more resources than is required. I mean, if we were to go back, say, a few 100,000 years, you would be, unalive, baby. You'd be left behind. The tribe would leave you because you're consuming too many resources, man. You're drained on the rest of the tribe. You're too big, too fat to hunt. You're totally completely useless. You're out of shape. You're not really any good at defending either. What can you do? What utility do you serve? Absolutely nothing. But thin people, oh, they're useless. Yeah, okay, buddy.
What they do is they pretend that all their flaws don't exist and they gang up on the fat fuck to feel better about themselves.
Well, we all have flaws, right, to a certain extent. But they're not equivalent. Okay? But he wants to create this false equivalency so he can feel better about himself and his many flaws, most of which are chosen by him.
And I say it's time we rise up against these goddamn twigs. We 40%,
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, buddy.
motherfuckers.
It's more than that, by the way. It's just 40% that are obese. The majority of Americans are fat or overweight. Okay?
But we divided. We got to unite. We got to tell the media, fuck you, bitch. If you give us one more fat...
By the way, the media pushes fatness for women. Okay, so I think you're just talking about fat men. And women... I don't know that they're going to join forces with you because you're the big fat evil man. You're just the evil man. Okay, they're not going to, forsake the sisterhood for you.
Fucking oaf character, we ain't supporting your shit. If you give a fat roll to a skinny, we ain't supporting your shit. Because Hollywood listens to this shit. Trans people bitched enough, and they got some fucking representation. Gay people, black people, all these other groups, they never let up. So why the fuck do we continue to take this shit?
I mean, you should. Okay, you should. And women, by the way, should also. Then maybe they might actually be thinner because they actually care a lot more about what other people think, what the collective thinks. Okay? You should listen. You should take it. And you should take it and reflect a bit and then learn that there's a reason you're being presented with this information in the first place. It's because your state of being is highly objectionable for many, many reasons, which I've already stated, and others I have not. And then do something about it because it's within your control. Meanwhile, you saying we should make fun and dunk on disabled people and short people and clubfoot people is absurd. The height of idiocy. No, we should not dunk on them for those things that they cannot control. We absolutely should dunk on you. We should mock, we should shame, we should ridicule, we should bully you so that you lose weight. Because you're eating up all the surplus resources, baby. Which by your worldview is a bad thing. But anyway, there you go. Kind of funny, yes. This guy, he's just coping big time. He should pick up a weight, lose some weight. Will he do that? Lord only knows. I'll believe it when I see it. Meanwhile, he wants to become a thin guy, I'm sure, but he hates the fact that, it requires a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of self-discipline. So instead of actually putting in the graft, he just wants to bitch and moan and complain and blame everybody else for not accepting his poor life choices. Yeah. We should encourage it. Yeah. Become a fatty. Become a blob land whale. It should be okay to do, right? Yeah. God forbid you actually have some self-control. And some self-esteem. Good Lord, what would become of the world if everybody cared about those things, valued those things? It'd be a lot better place. But anyway, there you go. So let me know what you think of this goofball in the comments section. Should we dunk on and ridicule the blind and the disabled and the elderly because they're blind and disabled and elderly? And we should do so in the same way we would dunk on this guy for being a big, fat, sloppy pig? Let me know in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any new content that I might create. Also, if you'd like to support my continued content creation, leave a super chat, baby. Can use them super chats. They help me continue making content. You can also follow my Patreon, link in description. You can join my YouTube channel as a monthly supporting member, hitting the join button below the video. Or you can make a one-time donation via Cash App. It's totally anonymous, and I get 100% of that. That link is also in the description. Also, leave a comment. Here it's good for the algorithm. I don't know. But anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care. Yeah. This guy. I don't know, man. I don't think we want this kind of behavior to become socially acceptable, but I don't know. I could be wrong. All right. Let me get to your comments if there's, all right, any. We got some, a lot of chat, but I don't know how much of it's in regards to what I was talking about. Okay, so it looks like the chat is mostly full of chat unrelated. Scan nerd painted fingernails. Oh boy, yeah, he paints his fingernails. Brother Weaver, he has to hold the mic. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I think he fancies himself some kind of like stand-up comedian. Scan nerd K, that's a good point he's made. What point is that? CJ says neuroscience shows fat people literally perceive things as being further away. CJ, because they're lazy and sick. Scan nerd. I like curtains, but not obesity on a woman. I don't mind some thickness. You know. Stolas now takes his due. ABP. It seems like CJ, visceral fat releases inflammation chemicals that cause major chronic illness. Even apparent skinny guys can have visceral fat and not even show because they're eating carbohydrates and it's doing the same inflammation damage inside their body. That's all built around your kidneys, your organs, around your heart. You can't see it, but you get it if you eat carbohydrates like a normal American. You can see if you want to pay $3,500 to get an MRI. I'll pass. I don't have $3,500. CJ, if you lay on your side, there's like a lump there hanging down on the bed that's probably visceral fat. Ugh. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. People don't even know what a healthy person looks like nowadays. I agree, CJ. When you actually find, I don't know. Scan nerd says meat is necessary. Yes. CJ, humans have been on an unhealthy trend for 12,000 years. I agree. Yeah, did you know human beings, when they were hunter gatherers, were like 7 feet tall? And they shrunk once they started agrarian societies. Oh boy. There's a lot of talk about diet here. Greg Gordaw. The rainbow flag makes me sick. It's a fetish flag. Okay, I'm sorry for the dead air, but I'm having to scan comments and sort of having a hard time keeping track here. There's a lot of comments here that have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Uh, okay, I'm gonna have to skip ahead. All right, Crowbar the Skull. How you doing, Crowbar? All right, so there's no comments about the content, so I guess I'm gonna move on. What do we got? Oh, all right, the quartering. Yeah, I know you guys don't want to. It's kind of funny though. I think. Um, yeah, let me see here. Jeremy Handley, check. All right, give me a sec. I gotta grab something to eat because I'm hungry. That's when I eat. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, but I had to drain the main thing and eat some food, and so you know, took a few minutes, but I'm back. All right, what do we got? We got some. We got another fat. Jeremy Hambley. Let's get to him. I know you don't want to hear about Jer, but some of you don't anyway. Still pretty funny stuff, though. Let's be honest. Sometimes. He's mostly boring, though. Melanie Mack, oh, God. Don't get me started about that broad. All right, screen capture on. Infinity Me. Check. Lost center. That's pretty good. Gonna have to do. Maybe lower it a bit. Yeah, okay. Not perfect, but yeah, what do you want? All right, F11. Nicotine gum in place. All right. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So we're back with Jeremy Hamlin from the Quartering, who claims to have lost 22 pounds in a month. Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. This guy ain't lost no 22 pounds. Get the hell out of here. Maybe 22 ounces. And probably almost all water. Quartering gives us a health update. Oh, geez. He's been lax on working out. No. You don't say. A 450-pound man who's pillhead, boozehead, overeater his whole life, never exercised a day in his life. He's lax on working out. Imagine that. It circles back around to his fasting. Fasting? This dude ain't fasting. Get out of here. Sounds like he's on a crash diet. Yeah, you can't, dude. If you're on like a diet, so fasting is for like when you're already healthy and thin, and you've reached your weight goals, okay, and you develop self-discipline, and you develop the solid exercise routine, and you have been on this diet for a while. I mean, then you maybe consider fasting, but not when you're this fat. Excuse me, not when this overweight, okay? No. He claims he is not drinking again. No booze for the last 10 days. No big deal. Famous last words from the time he stopped drinking in April. Jarrett looked like he had a panic attack during his Alex Jones interview. Do not take medical advice from these two R. Yeah, I wouldn't take advice about anything from these people. I mean, maybe from Melanie Mack about how to apply makeup if I was abroad, or where to go to get bad tattoos, but that's about it. Anyway, let's hear what... Wow, she looks horrible, by the way. Jeez. You need to crank up the filters, honey. Do something different. Yikes. All right, let's hear what they have to say.
So I started keto on July 19th. So exactly a month.
Okay.
I weighed 349.
No, you didn't. Maybe 449. He's leaving off about 100 pounds.
This morning, I weighed 327.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
22 pounds in a month. Isn't
Yeah, I mean, when it's fantasy weight loss, it sounds really amazing.
That is amazing.
that is
Wow. That's amazing. Whoa. $500 for that? I'll do that, Chair.
I mean, it's obviously it's not going to stay
It'll
like that.
slow
If it
down
did,
now,
I'd be
but-
very concerned. If I lose another 20 next month, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm probably sick. Like I probably have AIDS or something.
Yeah, I got news for you, pal. You are sick.
That
But
is so good, though.
yeah, I mean, but along that route, eating clean, I can only share my experience. So this
Yeah.
isn't like a doctor, listen to your
Yeah,
doctor
yeah.
and stuff like that. But my anxiety has been much better. That's also, so the 2 cuts I made last week were
Yeah, it turns out when you stop eating sugar and having your blood sugar go really high and then crash, it does help with stuff like anxiety a lot of the time. Yeah.
Not just dairy and alcohol, but
Healthy body, healthy mind, and all that.
or not just dairy and gluten, but also alcohol.
I don't believe that for a second.
So I've
Right.
been like almost 10 days, no alcohol.
But I thought you said you've been on the keto diet for a month. But you've only been alcohol free for 10 days? Wait, I'm confused. I've been on the carnivore diet for 3 years, okay? That's essentially what he's claiming to be on. He's just using the word keto. But it's a carnivore diet. How are you, but yeah, only 10 days. But dude, that's not really what I would call very, strict adherence to the diet.
And it's no big deal. Like
Love
I was
it.
never addicted.
It's no big deal. He's lying. He's lying. I'm gonna tell you something. When you make these kind of changes, for somebody like him, it's dramatic. It's huge. Dude, you're a blimp. You're inflatable. Except instead of air, you're sucking down copious amounts of Little Debbie's and Fireball whiskey, okay, pal? Going from that to fasting? No booze when you're an alcoholic? No, but nobody believes that you've given up booze. Nobody believes that you're adhering to this diet. Nobody. And I don't believe you lost 22 pounds either.
To it. Like it wasn't, it's just whatever. I just cut that too because it's dumb calories.
You're lying. He's lying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not easy. You can't go on to this kind of diet. Look, if you just suddenly change from being a sugar monster for 43 years to cutting out all carbohydrates, you are going to have problems, yo. And keto flu is the least of them. You are going to be having cravings like a heroin addict. You're going to want to chase that dragon. It is rough. This is proof positive. He's lying. Oh, it's easy. Oh, I'm having no issues. Yeah, because you're lying.
I basically had my like weekly little like vodka and diet Sprites on Thursdays to relax.
Mhm.
Then you're not adhering to the diet.
I was only drinking one day a week anyway since I started
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, one day a week. Yeah, getting blotto, man.
So going down to 0 was no big deal.
Yeah, difficult it is for your body to get back into ketosis when you're this early into a carnivore diet. I've been super adapted for years now. So if I want to eat like a chocolate bar, right? I can do that. And within 24 hours, I'd be back into ketosis. So I can occasionally cheat on rare occasion. You? No.
But since cutting alcohol, I've been sleeping better,
Oh, I'll bet.
which helps your anxiety. So
Oh, for
you're
sure.
like fully
Oh.
rested.
Yeah.
And I've been feeling less anxious, more dialed in. If anything, I have more energy now than I can ever remember having. I'm sure I had more when I was like a teenager,
Right.
but like, like even last night, it was like 11 o'clock at night. Normally I go to bed, but I was like wide awake working and I was just kind of in the zone.
I really don't believe that.
And so if nothing else, like, is it not 22 pounds? Did I do the math wrong? Is it 18? Someone said, but who's counting? You said I'm in 5 months without alcohol, but who's counting? Good, dude. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not, just like with like my position on pornography, it's a little more like lax than Melanie's, but
I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is, buddy. Really lax. We've seen your search bar, pal. You self-reported in that regard quite a bit. Look, this all fake faux for virtue signaling, okay? Why diet and lose the weight when you can lie about dieting and losing weight? This guy just wants the pat on the back. He wants the kudos. He wants the, whoa, that's great, from the love of his life, melonless Mac. And he doesn't want to have to put in the hard work. I guarantee you this guy's not dieting. He's certainly not fasting. You don't go from being a 450-pound slob to fasting, okay? That's called crash dieting, okay? That doesn't last. Even if that's what he was doing, which I highly freaking doubt. This all sounds like lies, man.
You know, just like with alcohol, like I'm never going to be that guy that's like, oh my God, never drink alcohol. It's the worst thing ever. That's never going to be me.
Oh, then you're not sticking to the diet.
I'm not saying I'm going to quit forever.
Of course. You're an alcoholic. Of course you can't. But you have to because you're an alcoholic. It's another problem, dude. You're an alcoholic. Everybody knows it but you. When you're an alcoholic, you can't drink. You need to be the guy that gives it up forever because you have no self-control. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to stop. Which, by the way, is how we know he hasn't, and he's lying. Alcoholics, I'm just going to drink occasionally and I can control it. No, you can't. That's what an alcoholic is.
But I am going to, just to help supercharge this, you know, this weight loss journey. And then once I mix in more, you know, I've been lax on working out because my foot's been hurting, but
Oh. Why is his foot hurting? Is this gout? Is it got like gout or something? Well, you shouldn't be drinking them, pal. Gout. I never had that issue. I don't drink.
you know, once I get more to working out, maybe I'll allow myself once in a while. But for now, when basically all I'm doing is intermittent fasting and keto,
Right.
I don't want to screw that up with.
Yeah, you don't intermittently fast when you start a diet. You can't do that. You don't have the self-control. You don't have the self-discipline. And your metabolism is already dead. The last thing you need to be doing is fasting, okay, pal?
For
empty
sure.
calories from alcohol.
Yep.
And the intermittent fasting has been crazy too. I did 3 days this week, 2 days this week. I think 2 days.
hmm
It was easy.
That's
Like,
great.
He's trying to tell us that he went 2 days without eating. 450-pound man. Nobody believes the 330, whatever number you're telling us, pal. Show us your body. We'll know real quick if you're actually 330-something pounds. You ain't. Nobody weighs that much who's been a glutton their entire life. Just goes from gluttony to fasting. You see, he thinks that's what has the best optics. That looks the best. That's the most impressive sounding. Oh, I went from being a glutton to going 2-3 days with no food. Look at me. Yeah, he's just mouthing this crap because he thinks it sounds impressive.
Great.
now I don't know if it's tech because I have the electrolytes in my water, so I don't know if it actually
Yeah, electrolytes are not food. If there's no calories, it's not food.
counts as technically fasting. But
I think
Um,
it still does. I don't think the electrolytes like
cancel it out.
counts as a fast.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. Yeah.
I'm gonna do 3 days next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and like when you
Dude, you can't be fasting this much. Dude, intermittent fasting is supposed to be intermittent, like every few months. Like every 3 or 4 months. You're not supposed to be doing it every week. That's called a starvation diet, you imbecile.
get into that zone, like I'm just not hungry.
What zone? Auschwitz zone? Concentration camp zone? You're destroying your metabolism, man, which you don't have very much of to begin with.
Like
hmm
my wife is like, dude, what the hell? You haven't eaten in like 2 days. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're not going to be good for long, pal. If you're actually doing this, it's extremely bad for your health. This is not how you're supposed to do it. What is he getting his advice from Melanie Mack? Oh my God.
Good.
Well, when you're eating a lot of that's the thing about the foods you are eating. You're eating a lot of steak and ground beef and things like that. That is just super nutrient dense. So your
Yeah.
body isn't.
Well, I haven't
craving
had
as
this
much other
steak in a
stuff.
week, which
By the way, Mel, why did you give up the carnivore diet then, if it's so great? Oh, it's only for big fatties. Oh, why am I trying to lose weight? Even though that's not true at all.
Okay.
sucks because I got gout, you
Yeah.
know, so I'm waiting. By the
Yeah.
way,
Gout? He's got gout? You need to give up the booze.
shout out to Juan who says, well done, sir, following keto with you, down from 190 to 180. Yes, dude.
Oh, good
for you.
job. That's awesome.
Yeah, the shit, what was I just saying?
About your intermittent fasting.
Dude, you can't even remember what you're saying from one moment to another, and you ain't got the excuse of having a freaking stroke like I did, buddy. Well, brain is still damaged from all the booze and pills.
Oh.
Yeah, but where's the ketones, pal? Your brain should be working like a finely tuned Swiss watch, buddy. All them ketones.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it that? I was talking about intermittent fasting. And I think I was talking with someone. Well, and she's like, you never eat. I'm like, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay. You know, like for me, it doesn't matter. Like people like drink water to appetite. It doesn't work for me. When I'm hungry, I can drink water all day. It doesn't really make me
Right.
that hungry.
Dude, your metabolism's tanked.
But I was saying steak. I'm really looking forward to my next steak, but because I ate a big fat ribeye every dinner for 2 weeks, I got gout in my foot. And
Okay.
I've never had gout. Dude, I've been on a carnivore diet for 3 years. I eat the same food every day. I ain't got no gout. Dude.
There's a prescription I can take to get rid of it quicker, but I'm trying to cleanse my body from all prescriptions, so I haven't
Oh,
taken
that's
it.
good. Yeah.
Anybody out there think he's giving up the SSRIs? You can't. This is like the least healthy way to go about doing any of this stuff.
I've just been taking tart cherry supplements, and it's
Mhm.
getting better, but like the pills make it go away in like 2 days. This is now week 2,
Oh.
but it's much better. It's improving like 1% a day.
Why don't you just take some vitamin C pills, man? Just get some vitamin C supplements. What? Oh, is that for scurvy? What do you do for gout? Why is he getting gout? It's the booze, isn't it? It's it. Booze. Yeah, booze. Boozing it up. He's lying about not having booze for 10 days.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I'll just stick it out another week,
good.
and then so I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that first steak once my foot's all better. You know, just herniated a disc 2 weeks ago.
That's not the cause, man. I have no gout. I eat ground beef every day. I have 6 eggs a day. I have 5 ounces of ground beef every day. I have 4 ounces of cheese, 4 ounces of sausage, 2.5 servings of salmon, 3 strips of bacon. I'm not getting gout. Never had gout.
Down from 235 to 219. Turns out pain makes you not hungry. Yeah, you know what? That's a valid thing. When I have like I only get gout like once a year, and it's totally self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Isn't that some of that have to do with like not being active? Isn't that one of the like contributing factors? Is you're not active enough? You're too much of a lazy schlub.
I go out to eat 3 or 4 times, and I go on like
Is it the booze? Is that contributing? Well, probably.
I drink 4 or 5 days in a row.
Mhm.
Then I get it. This was
He's still drinking. Yeah.
me eating a ribeye every single day for
That's not what's causing it, man. Come on. 2
weeks. I got
You're just lazy and not exercising enough. You're not giving up the booze like you claimed.
it.
Yeah.
And you're right. When I have gout, it's really easy to not eat because I'm
There you
always like
go.
thinking my foot is I'm in
Notice what he said when I drink 5-6 days in a row. Yeah, which is like every week, I believe. This is all lies. He's trying to make Melanie proud of him.
pain. My foot hurts, so I'm
Yeah.
not thinking about eating anything. I'm just thinking about putting ice on it and going to bed. But yeah, so that's been good, and I do want to thank you for inspiring me on this health journey.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. God, she's so grating. That voice.
there's a Family Guy quote where like Stewie's working with Meg, or no, the new dog comes. This is like this is Melanie to me, and let me see if I can find it, and then we'll get into the news here.
Okay.
Oh, God. So this guy, I mean, he's lying. He's lying. If he's telling the truth, this is like the worst thing he could be doing. You don't fast weekly. He's fasting 2-3 days a week. This is just a crash diet. It's a starvation diet. Yeah, if this is true, which I don't believe it is, and he's actually starving himself, well, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of weight, pal. It's going to be mostly muscle, by the way. I don't think he understands that when you lose weight, the more the weight you lose, the more weight you lose in a short period of time, the more of it is muscle. So this gargantuan weight loss, if true, is mostly muscle. It's going to be a lot of muscle. And this is a guy that can ill afford to lose any muscle. What an imbecile. And a starvation diet? Yeah, you're going to lose fat. You're going to lose a lot of muscle, too. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like just a starvation diet, yo. And by the way, the gout, I mean, he's probably just not getting enough variation in the animal products that he's eating. You're not just supposed to eat all red meat. I mean, you got to have some other stuff in there, right? You got to mix things up a bit, man. Cheeses, sausages, bacon, fish. Got to get those omega-3 fatty acids, yo. But he's fasting 2-3 days a week. You're not supposed to do that, you imbecile. Wow. Oh, wow. If this is true, it's like the worst possible diet, because the way these diets, these always end the same way. You get like these urges, these uncontrollable urges, and then you just gorge. And then you put all the weight back on. Right? So it's like the worst possible diet humanly possible. Well, it's not that I believe it anyway. But if it is true, it's really bad. So either way, if he lost 22 pounds, half that's probably muscle. So you're really harming yourself more. Guys, if you lose weight, the slower the better. Like maybe 1 pound a week. Now, if you're a big, gargantuan, sloppy, guy like this, 2 or 3 pounds a week. 3 is pushing it. 4, I wouldn't really recommend going that high. I mean, you want to keep it as low as possible. I mean, being as fat as he is, that's also quite unhealthy, and he's at risk of a coronary, a stroke, and tons of other issues. So you got to push the weight loss to the maximum. But he's talking about like 5-6 pounds a week. That's super unhealthy, man. Really, really unhealthy if true, which I don't believe it is. But let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you think this guy is actually lost 22 pounds? Do you think he's giving up booze? Because he's like Ultraman. He's a mega Chad, yo. He can not just drop 1 vice within a month. He can drop 2 or 3. I'm a pill popper. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a food addict. But I can give them all up in a month at the same time. Oh, really? Didn't Jordan Peterson have to put himself into a self-induced coma to drop 1? But you dropped 3? At the same time? Who buys that crap? Not me. But let me know what you think, guys, in the comments section. Is Jer the master of willpower? Should he become like the next Green Lantern? For the Earth sector, yo? The sector Earth is in because he's got the strongest will on planet Earth? And he can give up booze and drugs and food all at the same time, even though he's addicted to all of them? Because he's just out of nowhere discovered he's got the strongest will on planet Earth. Or is he lying? He's lying. I believe. Anyway, but let me know what you think in the comments section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you all have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I might create. Also, if you really like and appreciate the raw RP way I tell it like it is, please consider making a super chat. Okay? I really need your support if I'm going to be able to continue making content, especially the way YouTube's coming down on me, because I talk about certain subjects you're not supposed to talk about. Any amount's greatly appreciated. You can also join my Patreon, link in the description. You can also subscribe to my channel as a monthly supporting member through YouTube by hitting the join button below the video. There's numerous tiers. Go check that out. Also, I have a Cash App. If you want me to get the entirety of your donation and not let YouTube get 30%, you can use Cash App to make a donation. It's totally anonymous for me and you. That link is in the description as well. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. And take care. No, I'm not leaving. That's how I end every segment before I get to your comments. And this guy is so full of crap. He's lost 22 pounds. I don't think so, buddy. I do not think so. Please. What a bunch of BS. All right, let me see if we have any relevant comments here. Vespasian Judah, I think she's hot. Are you talking about Melanie Mack? Really? She's all right. I mean, she's not athletic enough for me. She skips leg day, man. Her legs look like chicken bones. She's got a decent tuchus. Got a nice butt. It's all right. She looks good for 40, but we take away the filters and the makeup. I don't know. Anyway, look at these comments. You guys are arguing with each other? Why? Dave D.I. I used to watch this miserable SOB ages ago in my rebellious atheist phase. He didn't change left. Oh, you're talking about TJ Kirk. Yeah. Yeah, the guy that's coping about being fat. Yeah. I mean, at least the quartering is pretending to care and diet. You know, this TJ guy, he's trying to justify his fatness. CJ, even your atheist god, Charles Darwin himself literally wrote down on paper, it is impossible for a human to be an atheist. Kalashnikova, CJ, 548, what about non-Christian religious people? Are they controlled by demons? What are we talking about here in the chat, yo? All right. Scant Dirk, men of the force women need in order to have every right and comfort they have. I mean, that's descriptively true. You're not wrong there. Atheist LL. So exactly where is this soul and how does it affect the brain? This is as bad as believing in Santa Claus. God is the adult version of Santa Claus. I don't know about that. I mean, that kind of sounds like a claim in and of itself. He wants you to see if you're good and bad, and if you're bad, Santa gives you a lump of coal, and God turns you into coal. That's the problem with being an atheist scientist. You read peer-reviewed studies from other scientists, but the Christians, they know what they're doing. They read some Bronze Age book. Okay. All right, whatever. Vespasian Judah, I think she's hot. Hell yeah, before and after. I don't know. Dude, to each his own. I mean, that video I made earlier in the week showing her in the Botox clinic, she looked really good there. But I mean, that could be like a 6-7-year-old video. But yeah, that was a good looking broad. The way she looks now, though, she's clearly had a lot of work done. So, I don't know. She's not necessarily my cup of tea. But she's not a bad looking broad, I guess. It's too much makeup. There's a lot of makeup. I just don't like all that makeup. What do you... She's also a ditzy broad. I guess she's trainable. She's not too bright, so I guess she could be trained. I mean, not by that, simp goofball she's with. She's wearing the pants in that relationship. But, she could be trained, I guess. I don't know. Wrong guy to ask, man. I mean, I was an athlete. I've been an athlete all my life, and until recently, because of my illness, look damn good. So I would generally attract similar women and was attracted to similar such women. Her chicken legs they don't do it for me, man. But hey, I'm not saying she's not attractive, she's not quite my cup of tea. But anyway, I know I also don't value that stuff that much anymore. My values have changed quite a bit as I've aged, and especially since my illness. So, there's that as well. What the hell? I can't seem to get this camera centered. What the hell? What's going on here? Okay, this is annoying me. Is that good? Doesn't look centered either. Getting on my nerves. Getting annoyed. Okay, that's better. All right, we're going to move on here. I'm going to do a quick sound check. So just bear with me, if you would. Okay. Let me make sure I can hear the audio in real time. Okay.
All right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's time to return to making occult videos.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, he's back. Yeah, no, he's not. I'm gonna do a quick sound check. Fortunately, I accidentally turned off my live stream feed, so I have to catch up here to do a sound check. Okay, he's back. Yeah, no, he's not. I'm gonna do a quick sound. Yeah, give me a sec. I know it's dead air, but you'll thank me when the sound is synced correctly. I don't hear anything. Where's the sound? He's back. No, he's not. I'm gonna do a quick sound. What the hell's going on here? I'm trying to do a sound check. I can't hear nothing. What? Oh, this is tiresome. I don't hear anything. Where's the sound? Back. All right, let's try again.
All right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's
I don't hear anything. Something's wrong with the sound. All right, let's try again.
all right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's
Okay, one more. All right, I think I know what's wrong here. Yeah, I gotta crank it up more. What's maxed now? What the hell?
time to return to making occult videos. All right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's time to return to making occult videos.
Goofy crap. What's wrong here? Yeah, I gotta crank it up more. What's maxed now? What the hell?
Time to return to making occult videos.
Let me see if I can turn it up in my live stream. Let me crank up the. All right, I'm cranking up the feed sound in my live streaming software. Somebody said it's low, so let's try that again. You let me know if it sounds better. Yeah, he's always had audio problems too. It seems.
All right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's time to return to making occult videos.
All right, that sounds better actually. In my live streaming software, somebody. All right, we'll see in a sec here if it's good. If it sounds better. Yeah, I know. I'm very slow at this.
All right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's time to return to making occult videos.
Well, that's about as good as it's going to get, so I'll try to lean back away from the camera a bit more. Maybe that'll help. All right, screen capture check. Looks okay. If it doesn't, oh well. And let's start from the beginning, if we even can. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So we're back with Styxhexhammer666 for your daily dose of Styx nonsensical, rambling, tripe nonsense. Because you need your daily dose of me dunking on this goofball, regardless of the time period that he said this crap. Now, in this video, he's talking about, and this is actually quite pertinent because I honestly believe that this guy did enter into some kind of contractual obligation agreement with some kind of dark forces, and now it's coming back to haunt him. All right? And so he's telling us here how demons will come to you on their own. You don't need to summon them at all, apparently. They just seek you out, right? If you're a limp-wristed, smooth-brained weakling, they will find you because they can sense who is susceptible to their influence. Anyway, let's hear what he has to say. GOE?
All right, YouTube, now that the election stuff is beginning to slowly wane away, it's time to return to making occult videos. I'm all hyper-caffeinated and excited for this. Trust me, it's been a certain amount of time since I've been able to do this.
This is him hyper-caffeinated? Really?
Time for the occult, video 107, Demons Come to You on Their Own. Now,
How many videos about the occult has this guy made? Occult video 107? By the way, why didn't he make a different channel for this occult crap? Why would he post this on his regular channel, which is almost all political commentary? That makes no sense.
when I say demons, a lot of people are going to assume I mean like little red-skinned imps or something like that. It's not exactly the most proper understanding of what demons are. A demon is an intelligence, cosmic force you can't explain, some ethereal being. It doesn't really matter how you ascribe it. I
thought they were fallen angels. Now they're just some kind of entity, ethereal being. You don't ascribe them to a heaven or a hell or a god, but he believes in hell.
don't pretend to specifically know. I've told the tale, of course, when I was younger. When I was quite little. I don't even think I was in elementary school yet. I don't even think I was in kindergarten yet.
He said he was 4 years old when Stolas visited him.
I saw a demon. Specifically, later on I identified it as Stolas from the
Confirmation bias, yeah.
Ars Gotia or something akin to that. Now, I think that if such a being exists, it's only vaguely physical at best, and essentially is capable of various supernatural feats, probably capable of appearing in multiple forms. I think if you look back at all the weird stuff that mankind has said that he saw throughout time, I think that a lot more of that is true than people think. Perhaps the psychonauts are right, and when you take psychedelics, the reason you see some of these weird entities and things is that you've changed your wavelengths or something like that.
Shifts your perceptions to be able to see them in the realm they exist within, I guess.
I am hopefully agnostic on such a topic. It's possible.
You don't know? Well, who would know, if not you?
I remain hopeful that maybe...
What is that in the background? Is that a Lord of the Rings sword? Is that a Boromir sword? Why's he got swords? He don't know how to use them.
that's the...
Look at his limp wrists. He don't use swords. His forearms are sticks. If you use swords regularly, you have big, beefy forearms, man. I know. I got big, beefy forearms.
case. Maybe some of the stuff I saw when I was high as balls when I was younger was actually real. Especially...
Yeah, that's the partial cause of your arrested development. High as balls when you were a little kid.
The episode with the succubus on Salvia, that was truly entertaining. I'll talk about that some other time, trust me.
He had an episode with a succubus when he was taking salvia. I still don't know what the hell that stuff is. Anybody tell me what salvia is? Anybody know? I have no idea. Can you have relations with demonic broads when you take salvia? Would it be any good? Is relations with a succubus good? Do you have to take salvia to have them?
But in my experience, these forces, you don't command them. If anything, you ask them for favors as a friend or something like that. But you don't attempt to command them. They come to you upon mutualistic terms. I've already spoken of... I took the video down because I was actually slightly tipsy at the time, and my speaking skills were slightly impaired. When I've looked...
You were slightly tipsy, Styx? Thought you didn't have a drinking issue. Oh, just tipsy.
Looked at it thereafter, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Like, I'm not just making an embarrassment of myself, but I could have done better. So I took it back down. But I am under a sort...
There was a time that this guy actually cared about the quality of his content. I mean, you wouldn't know it from the stuff he's been pumping out recently.
Sort of contractual arrangement with this particular being. Specifically related to literature, certain YouTube material, and other things within my life.
So you made a contractual agreement with a demon for your YouTube content, i.e. to make it better or to get it more coverage, more views. In return for what, pal? What do they get? Your soul? You don't believe in that, do you? Does he?
Now, the sort of
I think he believes in a soul, even though he doesn't believe in a heaven or God, but he believes in hell, but not Satan. Talk about cherry picking the things you believe.
arrangement that I've drawn up, again, the proof is in the pudding. I do like to observe things before I say,
He drew up an arrangement. Did you sign it in your own blood?
well, it's real or potentially real or something like that. I don't like to just take things on faith. That's why I'm not a Christian.
Wait. Wait a second here, pal. You don't take things on faith, but you believe in owl and wolf demons floating around outside your window and demonic contracts. I see.
I don't want to worship a deity that has not made himself clear that he exists, and honestly, in a behavioral sense, if you read the scriptures, kind of comes off as a little bit of an ass at times. Let's face it.
Well, that's really, really long time ago. Isn't that the... But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Wait a second. So you believe... Wait, because that hasn't shown itself to you, you don't believe in God. Because you haven't seen God, but you believe in the demons because supposedly you've seen the demons, right? But don't the demons come from God? By the way, how do you explain how these demonic entities are so enraged and repelled by the names of God and the name of Jesus Christ and the symbols and the symbology of the Christian church? Why would that have any effect on them? Wouldn't that be proof? Wouldn't that be an evidence of a sort of a God? Because these symbols, these words, these prayers have a repelling, negative, painful effect on these entities, as you call them. Where's that power coming from then? If God doesn't exist, isn't that in and of itself a type of manifestation of that God's existence?
Especially with regards to that bald dude who was...
Of course, he would probably argue, it's just a belief. You see, it's the power of those prayers and those words and them symbols comes from you believing that they have power. So the pain, the repelling effect that it has on these entities, well, that comes from your believing that these words have that power. It's your belief that gives those symbols the power to repel, to cause pain in these demons, as he calls them. Oh, okay, buddy.
Was being teased by some kids and decided to sick some bears on them. They're calling him Baldy, and then, like, I think 20 of them got ripped apart by these pair of bears that came lumbering out of the woods when they were, like, teasing him and stuff. Yeah, I don't think that's exactly the sort of religion that I really want to follow. I think that's a little strange to me. And I say that it's strange as a person who actually practices the occult, let's face it. So, yeah, take it on a token as in it's nuts. It's lunacy. But in my experience...
But worshiping Satan, that's okay. Okay.
You don't like form a circle and have a parchment written in your blood and light the black candles and do some long invocation of Belial or something like that to get what you want. That's theatrical, partially it's metaphor, and in a limited sense it is real ritualism, depending on what tradition you're talking about. The Solomonic tradition, for example, we're talking about the lesser key, the greater key, maybe some of that material. Some of that is metaphor, some of it's meant to be taken literally, and some of it, especially the seals of these various demons, as far as I can tell, has veiled meanings primarily and a literalistic meaning only secondarily. You'd think of the Steganographia as a similar work. It's literally an early work of cryptography. It is presented in the form of a grimoire, but it is not, strictly speaking, an actual tract about how to summon spirits. You can read it on the surface as though it was. If you go beyond that, it's literally about learning. That's one feature that a lot of grimoires and works of summoning have in common. The Grand Grimoire is a notable example. The Petit Albert, not so much. The Petit Albert, which might be soon in hardcover, by the way, for those who are interested, and it seems like several hundreds of you are.
I'm not.
That's more of a folk work. That's folk spells, folk ritualism, drive away disease by having the wolf's skull and burning herbs in it, stuff like that. It's the more weird side, sort of the hand of glory stuff. The Grand Grimoire, though, has a hidden political message within it.
Oh.
The hidden political message, if you read it, is essentially how monarchy and oligarchy don't work and people should be free, and Enlightenment era philosophy is great and academic wisdom is great, and the church is full of crap, and kings are full of crap. They're all retarded and stuff like that.
Yeah, the only thing that's nonsensical is the stuff you're spouting. By the way, don't study any of this stuff. It's a complete waste of your time. Live in the objective reality. Live in the real world. Ignore, do not get involved in this kind of crap. Good Lord knows how many lives he has ruined, destroyed by encouraging people to study this garbage.
Like that. That's essentially what you get when you read the Grand Grimoire. It's like the most popular grimoire other than the Lesser Key, and people don't even realize that it's basically an Enlightenment manifesto or pre-Enlightenment manifesto. It's very, very funny to see people who don't actually make that mental connection. Because it's right there. It's literally written in black and white for the person reading it to see.
Oh, you're so enlightened, Styx. You're so knowledgeable and wise, except you're not.
They just focus on the parts of it that are about making a pact with Lucifuge or something like that. It's hilarious. It is a real grimoire. It does contain actual spells, actual rites, but it also contains that other, not even in that case, veiled message, and people completely miss it. As far as...
Gee, it's hard to believe you have this satanic crap says the church is bad and monarchy's bad, control's bad, rules bad. Do whatever you want. Be the whole of the law. Yeah. No moderation, no temperance of any kind, no self-control, just pure hedonism and pleasure-seeking, baby. Yeah, pass.
As demons go, though, these intelligences or forces or beings or whatever you wish to term them, and again, I'm hopefully agnostic on that as well, approach individuals because...
They're weak. They're able to be influenced. They're booze heads, they're pot heads, they're drug heads, they're pill heads. So their natural defenses against these kind of dark outside influences have been weakened.
You look at them.
That they're open to manipulation.
You look at like the Ars Goetia. They're human archetypes. They're different types of learning, different types of intelligence that can be potentially imparted through some system or another.
This is all just to draw you in. All this stuff he's talking about is to draw you in and get you interested and involved in this crap, to develop a state of mind and a mental curiosity to prime you for being open to this kind of outside influence and manipulation, okay?
So you have one that teaches languages, another that teaches music, another that teaches poetry, another that teaches how to fight and strategy, like military strategy.
Dude, you know nothing about any of that stuff. What are you talking about, you gangly SOB?
And Stolas specifically represents herbs and stones and their various properties and some of these things. Natural science, essentially.
Dude, if this stuff was at all efficacious, your life would be a paradise. But it's a disaster. You had a very short period, relatively speaking, of plenty and fame and success, and then it all, like that, vanished. Why do you think that is, buddy? Well, payment comes due eventually, pal. You sign a contract, you get something, it's a quid pro quo, buddy. What did Stolas get? What did Satan get? I believe in Satan. Yeah. Okay, pal.
Therefore, when I realized what the...
That's the most clever thing Satan did, was convince you he doesn't exist. Well, no such thing as objective evil. Mama, even if Satan does exist, he's not objective evil. He's just a being who chose to be evil. So even then, there's no such thing as actual evil. Yeah. Oh, okay, buddy.
Being represented and what I had seen when I was younger, it was quite astonishing because my youth was marked specifically by an almost impulsive natural instinct to learn about herbs, to learn about minerals, and to learn about magic, especially as they involve these things. I know I haven't released any herbals yet, but I've gotten a slew of them and I want to release them. and it's among the material that I've studied the most. The only herbal material I've released was Fruits of Eden, which I wrote myself. It wasn't an edited work. I am intensely interested in these things. I'm intensely interested in minerals. Honestly, I wish that...
Is that where he's getting money to survive? Is he still selling any of these books? Maybe he's making a couple $100 a month off of the royalties from this crap, in addition to a subscribe star on Patreon? I don't know. I heavily doubt it. It can't be a lot of money.
I had enough money to fully stock that backdrop. Everything that's not books would be just a bunch of mineral specimens. I especially like garnets. I actually did order a garnet ring. I'm like, oh, it's time. You know, it's my birthstone. I was born in January. I like garnets. You know, they look like blood. It's just like the most gothic mineral you can possibly imagine. That or maybe obsidian or something like that. Hematite. But yeah, demons, you don't need to call them. This stuff, I follow.
But you are calling them because you have that interest. You have that mindset. You have that curiosity. Okay? And that's what opens you up and attracts them, all right?
A variety of occult YouTubers, and coincidentally encounter a lot of other occult material on YouTube anyway, from other people that I don't subscribe to because they're even less entertaining. And these people are talking about, here's how to make a pact with Belial, here's how to make a pact with Astaroth, here's a spell for love, a spell for... And most...
Yeah, that's all nonsense. All that love spell crap.
Most of that is silliness. Most of it, the idea of making a pact with a demon and needing like an actual scroll signed in your own blood or something to get what you want, that's not really authentic occultism. It all takes off, again, from works like the Grand Grimoire, which have a political and social meaning. The more
well, they have political and social messaging, okay? But that's not all they're about. And that stuff's just there to draw you in, to appeal to your intellectual curiosity.
Authentic side of action.
It's using very real-world issues and interests to draw you into the dark, occult stuff, the magic, the ritual, to open you up more to being influenced, to make you more accessible to these forces.
Actual magical practice of the occult is more about the use of herbs as poisons or as medicines.
Well, there's nothing magical about that.
The observation of nature, synchronicity, memetics, psychology in a rudimentary sense, and certainly chemistry.
Psychology is babble, pseudoscience nonsense.
In the alchemical sense. That's the occult.
Well, alchemy is just early chemistry, okay?
It's wisdom. It's material that is technically mundane, not always necessarily able to be described by then modern science or even now by modern science.
Well, how convenient. How convenient, by its very nature, it cannot be defined or described. Yeah.
Stretching forth of man's imagination, essentially.
Thought pressure. This guy overcomplicates everything to try and make himself sound more impressive, more intelligent. The truth of the matter is magic is just about manipulating reality, applying pressure of thought and words, spells as it were, is to give specificity or to shape the will. The will is like the power. The will is the fuel. The words help shape the will, as it were, give it more specificity, as I said, to somehow create change in objective reality in conformance with will. Yeah. So it's magical thinking, essentially, which is a lot of what the left believes, but with social deconstructivism and social constructivism and such, blank slate theory. You can be whatever you want to be, right?
Into new realms that aren't quite...
If I identify as this thing, I am that thing. Yeah, all right, sure, whatever.
They're not fully explained by what we at any time consider modern science. I would say also, and this bears mentioning, the concept of modernity is an illusion. People back in the 1700s thought that they were living in the modern age and that the past was outdated and technologically backwards. They never saw the current era coming. If you go back if you have a time machine, you go back to the 1800s, tell them, oh yeah, soon I'll be able to communicate with like someone in India instantly. I'll be able to see them on a little screen in front of me, like a little glass screen and stuff, and talk to them, and they'd call you nuts. They'd throw.
This guy has never been intelligent or profound or interesting. This is all just stating the obvious. Well, you bet back 500 years, told them what it'd be like now, they think crazy, yo. People in 1300s France thought they were living in the modern age. Well, yeah, at that time, yeah. What's your point? You're just stating the obvious, man.
You in the nut ward. You'd be given electroshock therapy or put in a straitjacket or something.
Well, I mean, you go back far enough, there was no electroshock, but...
Because they never saw it coming. Likewise, we don't know exactly what we will understand and how in another 100 or 200 years. Much of what we consider to be true now will no longer be considered to be true, and strangely enough, those people that come after us, long after everyone watching this video is dead, will consider this age to be backwards, and they won't see the future coming either.
Oh, well, yeah, just like in the past where people couldn't explain or vocalize the technology we have now. They didn't understand the things we understand now. Magic's just like that. The fact that I can't explain it to you doesn't really take away from its efficacious nature. It's just, we'll understand it someday. But it's illogical. It makes no sense. It's not how the real world actually works. We know it doesn't work that way. We know we just can't think about an apple and an apple appears. That's not how it works. We got to go out and find the apple. We got to go out and buy the apple. We got to grow the apple. We got to pull it off an apple tree. We got to go seek out the apple tree. We just can't make it manifest. We just can't make it apparate in front of us, pal. That's not how reality works, okay? We know that.
Assuming we don't get annihilated by nuclear war. Insofar as demons are concerned,
Got to make that observation to sound more intelligent, you know, even though I'm not.
They will choose you to talk to or to communicate with in some subconscious fashion.
Yeah, because you're weak-minded, you're open to that influence because you've abused drugs or alcohol, you weakened your body's natural defenses, and so now you're susceptible to their influence. Yeah.
They are intelligences. They are archetypes, at least insofar as I understand them. I don't identify demons as being specifically corporeal or even intelligent beings. I don't even really render them to the original Greek daimon or intelligence as being a personified intelligence so much.
Oh, you're wrong. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. He don't have a clue.
As just a spirit, a flowing of energy that happens to represent some facet of human ingenuity and intellect.
Is he saying that all these things are egregores? An egregore is a manifestation of somebody's thoughts, feelings, may manifest, and it takes on a life of its own in a way. It can be an individual or group construct. The idea of an egregore, that sounds like what he's saying, like somehow human beings invented them, like somehow they came about to exist as archetypes of representations of certain aspects, interests, aspects of human intellect, aspects of human interest, aspects of human endeavor. That kind of sounds what he's saying.
That's really what I relegate them to. So when I say I see a demon, I'm essentially telling you I saw the semblance of what others would identify as a demon. In that,
but not you. So why are you calling it a demon then?
That physical form or mental form. And that
he thinks they're all egregores. He thinks these are all human manifestations of human consciousness that took on a life of their own and developed and evolved over years, centuries, eons. Right.
Coincidentally, again, I believe in synchronicity over coincidence when it relates to such spiritual topics.
Oh, really? Really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, everything he says is self-serving. Everything he says confirms his own biases, and it's self-serving, so he can believe that these forces, these thought manifestations are somehow benign. Like he can somehow use them or work in concert with them and take advantage of their power and energy without actually extracting a toll on himself or his life. It don't work that way, buddy.
To be intensely interested and still am in exactly the kind of things that this being or this intelligence or this force or whatever you call it happens to represent in the more authentic Solomonic tradition. This being is probably personified by all sorts of pagan deities as well. That tends to be another thing. When you're looking at the Solomonic demons, especially Ammon, I think obviously, what you're really looking at are pagan deities. You're not looking at demons in the Judeo-Christian sense, in the misunderstood King Solomon, King Moses, and praise the Pope sense.
Really? Why are they so afraid of Jesus and God and the names of God and prayers from the Christian church? Why are they so affected by religious symbology, specifically Christian religious symbology, if there's no connection there? Again, he would just say, oh, it's belief. It's the belief of the person who is wielding the relic or the symbol or the prayers that empowers those to perform the desired task and to achieve this desired outcome, just like a spell in magical occult traditions would do.
What you're seeing are pagan entities. You're seeing gods, essentially, as early.
But you don't believe in a god. But now you believe in gods?
Man would have ascribed them. These gods were more anthropic. They were limited. They were not all powerful. They had different roles and different powers.
How are they gods? What makes them gods then? Because you're just calling them a god? What?
A more properly functioning pantheon, in my opinion, than having one self-contradicting deity.
Is he just saying they were representations of certain aspects of nature? But how are they gods then? Do they have 100% control, influence over that said natural aspect of reality? If not, then what makes them gods exactly?
Who both imparts good and evil, and then says that he can't be evil, and tells you what to do, and then curses you for doing it, and things of that nature.
But you don't believe in good and evil, man. You made that very clear. You're a moral relativist. You don't believe. He doesn't believe in good and evil as existent forces in reality, right? He doesn't believe that. Good and evil don't exist, Styx. What are you talking about?
I tend to expunge monotheism, or henotheism, as it may be termed, because that's really where the Christian God comes from.
Which he don't like. He hates Christians, by the way.
Most Christians don't even realize the Jews were henotheists when they dreamed all this crap up. That is, they believed in all these...
Wait, their crap is dreamed up, but all this fantasy nonsense you're babbling isn't made up. All this minutia crap that you're babbling about each of these demons and the realm aspects of reality that they supposedly control, that's not dreamed up? How interesting. How convenient for you.
Pagan deities, they simply decided that they were all evil except the one they happened to choose to worship. They might as well have chosen Asherah or some other, or Ahriman, or any other randomly selected being, because they could have done the same thing.
But you're doing the same thing. All of the hypocrisy. He's calling Christians out for being selective in their worship while he's cherry picking and being highly selective in his worship. The Christians believe their God wasn't evil. Well, you believe that your gods are not evil, pal. How are you any different?
Most Christians do not realize that. That's why they fail at magic.
So magic is real. Spells can work. We can speak words and give form, shape to our will. And we can affect change on objective reality. Like our mind can apply pressure. Really?
Can't really work it because they don't even know the origins of their own spiritual form. They don't realize that these pagan gods were considered very much real in the most strict, intelligent, physical sense.
But you just said they're not intelligent. And they're just bundles and balls of, energy that ain't too smart. Make up your mind, pal.
By the people who were the progenitors of their own religion. Now, of course, they say, oh, well, our God's the only God. That's not what the Jews were saying 1,000 years ago. They were saying our God is the only good God, and all these other gods do exist. They're not demons, they're not imps. They're there.
I don't know about that.
But they're simply malevolent in some fashion, or they happen to violate what the Jews saw as their moral code or something of that nature. Also, the Jews didn't really have a conception of the afterlife.
What do I care what they think, man? They're not the chosen people, all right? New covenant, they're not chosen. I really don't care what they think, okay? Nobody should. Not in these regards. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of the little, that beanie wearing folks, so.
The time, for the most part, other than, you die and then you're asleep. I think Christians are fooling themselves.
I think you're fooling yourself.
When they talk about their heaven, their paradise, which comes strictly from the book of Revelation.
By the way, I don't care about any of this stuff, and you shouldn't either. Live your life, be a good person, bad person. Who and what you are is defined by your actions, okay? So act rightly. That's all anybody can do. Don't worry about any of this stuff. You're going to waste your life. You're worried about, thinking about, pursuing this crap. You will waste your life.
Very, very funny indeed that these things are believed in. It's all philosophical. It's extra biblical material, and most of them haven't read enough of their own dogma.
It's more ideological and dogmatic than it is philosophical, my friend.
To even realize this fact. But yeah, demons come to you, not the other way around. You don't need to start flinging spells around and start rambling about how you're going to call on Belial to curse your foes or something.
You can, and it can work. Wouldn't do that, by the way. Just so you know, not a good idea. By the way, aren't you the same guy that said you unallied the prosecutor in New Orleans using blood magic? Looks like you do use ritual and cast about spells to get a desired outcome, pal.
Because in the most authentic occult sense, strictly speaking, in a secular manner here from the history, the literary history of the occult itself, like actual grimoires, it's not there. That's not how it's done. You're talking about latter-day material from the Victorian era onwards, usually. When you're thinking of these things, most of it was divine words, divine numbers in the more Jewish sense.
So what is it? That you don't do nothing? You just sit around and think about this crap all day? He's not telling us what you do if you don't do that stuff. Which he does. And has admitted to doing. God, this guy, he's so contrarian and contradictory of his own words and actions.
Folk magic, healing, superstitious sort of incantations and rites.
Dude, all this stuff's superstitious. You're talking about demons, yo. What are you talking about? Well, I'm not superstitious.
As well, that in many cases they don't have anything to do with the demon, for the most part. Study these grimoires. Read.
Don't study this stuff, man. Don't put yourself in that state of mind, okay? That acts like a freaking beacon. It's a magnet to this kind of stuff, all right? Don't do that. Do not take his advice. Again, this guy has ruined so many freaking lies by encouraging people to get involved with these kind of dark arts, these kind of dark forces. Don't get involved in this stuff. You're just opening yourself up to influences that you really don't want to have access to you. Trust me.
A few of them. You'll see what I'm talking about. Read the Petit Albert.
No, don't.
Read the Grand Grimoire. Yeah, it talks about summoning Lucifuge. It also talks about monarchy and the church being evil. It's a philosophical Enlightenment era manifesto more than it is anything else.
Yeah, imagine that. These kind of practitioners back in the day didn't like the church because the church taught quite correctly that these people were encouraging and fostering evil forces that could harm people.
That's about all.
Peace out. Peace out. This guy. He spent his whole life living in a fairy tale fantasy world, okay? And there is some truth, some efficacy to the things he's talking about, but not nearly as much as he's presented to you. And it's really all downside, right? It's like the dangling the carrot, right? Oh, look, if you pursue these kind of studies, if you look into these kind of things, you're going to gain extra-worldly, supernatural, paranormal powers that allow you to influence objective reality to your benefit, in your favor. It's mostly lies. It doesn't come with no price tag. Okay, by the way, whatever limited benefit you can gain, it's all downside in regards to what you got to pay in return. You're going to get an outcome very much like this, guys, where you're sleeping in a laundry room on an air mattress, you're broke, and you're wanted by the authorities in multiple states. But anyway, there you go. Another video showcasing how Styxhexhammer666 went down the wrong path. This is why he studied, he pursued these kind of things, opened himself up to very negative influences, let him in, invited him in. Hey, come on in. It's a smorgasbord, and my soul is dessert. Well, look at what happened to this guy. Don't follow in his footsteps. But anyway, there you go. More Styx babble. So let me know what you think in the comments, huh? Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I might create. If you'd like to support my continued content creation, where I tell it like it is and I give you good advice as opposed to this guy's crappy advice that he was even given 10, 15, 20 years ago. It all sounds like crap, nonsense, mumbo jumbo, highly dangerous BS to me. You appreciate the fact that I'm trying to help steer people away from becoming this guy, please consider supporting my channel. You can do so in many different ways. You can leave a super chat. Any amount's greatly appreciated. You can also follow me on Patreon, yo. Link is in the description. Or you can join my YouTube channel as a supporting member. Hit the join button below the video. Or you can make a direct donation via Cash App. It's totally, completely anonymous for you and for me, and I get 100% of that. My Cash App ID is in the description. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here, folks. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. And take care. Yeah, don't pursue this stuff. Don't even worry about why am I here? Oh, what's the mystery of life? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your energy, and it's just going to lead you nowhere good, man. It's going to lead you nowhere good. Live in the moment, the here and now. This stuff, no. No. Like I said, doesn't lead anywhere productive, man. Highly unproductive in point of fact. All right. I sounded low. Hey, Vespasian Judah, why don't you speak the hell up then? You didn't say anything, man. No. Like I said, doesn't lead anywhere productive, man. Okay, guys. Well, that was unhelpful, Vespasian. You said it. You didn't say, am I an it? Is there like 20 minutes of lag? There's not that much lag, yo. I really don't, I don't understand why the communication between me and you guys in chat is so bad. Are you imbeciles so busy arguing with each other that you can't communicate with me when I ask a freaking question? Styx sounds loud AF. You sounded low. Why didn't you say that before I started the video? Okay. Well, I have to go back and listen to it then here, because you didn't make that clear at all. You didn't say I sound low, Styx sounds loud. So, guys, I don't read minds like Styxhexhammer claims to. I told you very early on. That's it. Complaining about fat people not getting... Sounds fine to me. I told you you need to be specific when you were speaking in chat, when you're making reference to anything. Why would you think I would think you're talking about me? All right, so it's low as F. So this is the first time hearing about it. I've been reading the chat. Nobody has said that I sound low. Why? I don't understand you people. And by the way, you're filling my freaking chat with bullshit nonsense. You're talking about Mustangs and you're talking about stuff that has nothing to do and is in no way relevant to anything I'm discussing. I can't read half these comments because they're unrelated to the content that I'm talking about or anything else. So if anybody does say anything, I wouldn't see it half the time. I don't see anything. It sounds very low. I asked if Styx sounded low, and you said it sounds very low. This is a problem. I'm going to tell you guys to practice more conscientiousness in regards to your own thoughts and how you express yourself. When you speak to other people, strive to be mindful of what they hear and what they might perceive and not understand. You have to be clearer. If this is how you communicate with other people, they ain't understand you, man. This is really... So I'm too low. He's too high. Really? Okay. Well, nice to know after I'm done the video. I don't even want to read your comments anymore, Vespasian Judah, to be honest. Did anybody else have problems hearing me, or was it just Vespasian Judah? I don't even know that I'll get an answer because you guys seem to be arguing with each other about things that are totally, completely unrelated to anything I'm talking about. I'm not even going to read Vespasian Judah's comments. Let me see what else we got here. Okay. So I don't see any... You didn't know it wasn't before the video. Sorry, it was not before I... By the way, dude, I don't... Whatever. Doesn't matter, man. It actually wasn't. I'm gonna close the window out before that. Whatever, man. But you didn't say anything. You said it. In response to when I said, yeah, Vespasian is kind of part troll, I think. I don't know. I don't know what it means. You responded to, it's like, I don't understand people. If I say, does Styx sound low, and you say it sounds low, I'm going to think you're talking about Styx because that's what I asked about. So if I asked about Styx and you say it sounds low, I'm going to think you're talking about Styx. You have to quantify your answer if it's not what I asked. I don't know why I have to explain this kind of stuff. I really don't. Whatever. All right. I don't know why I have to explain this to anybody. All right, let's go back, see where I left off in the comments. Yeah, I'm going to ignore that. Sage of the Diviners, Salvia, is a rare green plant in the mint family. It comes from the cloud forest of Osaka. He Googled it. Okay, local shamans use it for spiritual and healing rituals. Okay. It's interesting. Well, not really, but... See, I don't place any stock in this crap, okay? I really don't. It's just a waste of your life, right? I live in objective reality. I have zero interest in this kind of crap, so none of this crap bothers me. I don't have to worry about any of this. Because I'm totally, completely uninterested. Don't care. My mind's not there. I have no susceptibility to this stuff. I'm not a pothead, not a drug addict, not an alcoholic. This stuff can't touch me, okay? Now I go looking for it. I go seeking it out. I become one of these goofballs that's all fascinated by the occult and supernatural. Go to like a, I don't know, like a haunted mansion or some crap, like ghost hunting. I'm seeking this stuff out. My mind is there. I'm focused on this stuff. I'm thinking about it. I'm giving it access to me when I do that. I don't do any of this stuff. Like this guy. So I don't care. Don't worry about this stuff. Don't think about it. Live your life like it doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist, okay? Just completely, totally ignore it. Don't worry anything about any of this crap. It's, yeah, you go seeking it out. You're going to find it. No kidding. But do not do that. And you'll be fine. Trust me. Vespasian Judah, the leaves have a strong natural chemical that causes short, powerful hallucinations. So this guy. Salvia is intense for about 15 seconds. Okay, that's pretty shit. 15 seconds? I can blow my load for free. And it's not going to leave me possessed by Lucifer. Slim XX, a pack with Costa Coffee is more up my alley. Yeah, really. Kenny Lee, Styx reminds me of those edgy goth kids in high school back in the 80s. Yeah, but he's not that edgy, though. I know he thinks he's edgy because he, like, curses a lot. By the way, forgive me, Vespasian, I'm just very tired. It's a Friday, it's the end of the week, and we're at like 3.5 hours of this live stream. So, oh man, Slim X. I went to school, school in the 70s. There were no goths. We had hippies. Yeah, Kalashnikova. Slim X weren't mods, a movement from Britain, where they wore suits. Deliverance Hope. On Brighteon, I had a spiritual battle with him. What? Okay. He's loaded with demons. Yeah. Okay. All right. Deliverance Hope. He's a bad dude. It's really sad. Slim XX, the US Army. What? Deliverance Hope. It gets worse. The founder of the network of Brighteon was once a really strong Christian. I helped him battle guys like Styx, but he went anti-Semitic. Brighteon. Wasn't Brighteon like a alternative video platform? Does it even exist anymore? I think I remember posting some videos there. Like way back. Okay. Slim X. Deliverance Hope. Deliverance. Thank you for the reply. Now the fake Jesus movement with their movie rockstar preachers, prophets. What? Kalashnikova, realist, you sound fine. It might be a troll. Okay. Especially in Judy. After you tweaked it and started the video segment, it sounded fine. I don't know. Lots of people troll me about the audio, man. By the time I get to segment number 4, I'm very tired. So just ignore me and my rant. Yo. Space and Judah, it's okay, buddy. I'm not mad. Thought your segment was screwed up. But after the few mess ups you've had, well, I had that. Yeah, I sometimes it happens. Like, I'll forget to switch on the screen capture. And then I do like half a segment and it's wasted. It's happened 2 or 3 times. It just, yeah, it irks me. I didn't like that TJ segment, by the way. I don't like that guy. He's very uninteresting. He's very hard to follow, this guy. Not because he's intelligent, quite the opposite. He overcomplicates everything. He tries too hard to be edgy and sound intelligent, and he's anything but. That's how he comes across. If it's based in Judah, you bestowed the gift of moderator on me. Why would I mess with you or your channel? I wouldn't intentionally mislead you. I'm tired, man. You're fine, Vespasian. I don't know. We've got good views. I know that. This is the best Friday we've had in a while. Might have something to do with the later start. Maybe I should start all my live streams an hour later, yo. Yeah, YouTube's really screwing me over. 0 comments. All my new videos for the past week have had no comments showing up, which tells the algorithm there's no interest, and then they recommend my videos less. To all you people out there, this annoys me. If you say YouTube is shadow banning you or messing with your channel because you're talking about things they don't want you to talk about, they call you like a conspiracy theorist. Oh, well, your content sucks as well. Nobody likes you. No. YouTube actually does screw with people's channels, guys. Okay? If you say stuff they don't like. What do you think? They got all this power, they don't use it? What are you, stupid? Well, the more power you give the government, they'll be very benevolent. They'll never misuse it. What are you talking about? They got all sorts of little shenanigans they pull. I don't like your content. You talk about the beanie wearing people over in another country. All of a sudden, your comments don't show up. Your comment counter reads 0, and the algorithm doesn't promote your channel because it sees no comments. Oh, comment counter 0? Oh, well, we won't suggest your video as much. What do you think that's a... Oh, there's a glitch, is all. YouTube's just having technical difficulties. Really? But they're very selective. I mean, all the big channels that are, saying the right talking points and not talking about the things they don't want you to talk about, they're not having glitches. Why is my channel having glitches? What's a glitch? You're being paranoid, realist. Oh, am I? Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Deliverance Hope, I can assure you I'm not a troll. I didn't say you were. The famous preachers will lead many to the Antichrist. Take what you will. Dude, I didn't say you were a troll. What are you talking about? When did I say you were a troll? I didn't say you were a troll. Anyway. I did make some tweaks to my sound, though. I made some adjustments to I think it was the pre-gain. I turned it down. Maybe I turned it down too much. I don't know. Were there a lot of peaks? I get like, really? When I have that screechy quality to my voice, I get like these very loud peaks that I've been trying to eliminate. I think I might have to go into my sound mixer and get really granular with the settings because I'm not having a lot of luck with the more macro settings. Yeah, it's a real problem. There are more finite settings here, but I don't know how to use them. Like, for example, I've got, oh, geez, look at this. I got an equalizer, voice EQ, low, mid, high frequencies. I haven't messed with those. I'm thinking I'm going to have to. I have to do some research. I think it's the high setting here. That's the problem. I don't know. It's very complicated, man. Video is easy compared to these sound settings, man. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah. This stuff I'm not very good at. I'm not a sound engineer. I'm good at fixing, building stuff with moving parts, but this audio stuff, not my forte. That's for sure. Deliverance Hope, the realist, be careful who you call a troll. I'm not a wimp and can stomp on you. What? What is going on here? Dude, I didn't call you a troll. What is he talking about? What is this guy talking about? Nobody called you a troll. What is this guy talking about? Who's this guy? You're making me think you are a troll now. You're threatening me. Oh. Okay, but dude, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, okay, I was referring to somebody else, but whatever, man. All right. Yeah. All right, guys, I don't know. Should that be it? Is there anything more interesting to discuss here? Did I miss any comments? I don't think so. But that's Styxhexhammer. He doesn't understand this stuff now. It sounds like what he was saying was that all gods are created by men. They're like some kind of manifestations of different aspects of man and man's psyche. That sounds like what he was saying. Like man created them, and then they took on a life of their own, but still embodied that aspect of man, that man created them unknowingly to represent. And now they can somehow be tapped in to and used for your own personal purposes, but without any kind of actual like consequence. Yeah, it don't work like that at all. But that sounds like what he was saying, honestly. As you can see, I actually know quite a bit about this occult stuff, and I can tell you that Styx doesn't really know a lot. He's memorized a lot of minute aspects of like history and different like particulars of rituals, this and that. But it's all like it's rote memorization. He's memorized a lot of crap, but he doesn't have much of an understanding of it. He's just able to regurgitate it to try and sound intelligent, but he doesn't understand very much of it at a basic level, let alone in an advanced way. He's just got this kind of self-serving understanding. Like, oh, well, okay, this stuff, we created it. It's you know, we call them demons. It's just in a colloquial sense. They're not really fallen angel demons. They're not demons. And, well, you know, you can just use them for whatever purposes you want, and it won't do you any harm. Okay, whatever. All right, so I guess that's it. So I'm going to head out. Deliverance Hope, you're fine. No problem. You misunderstood me, that's all. Don't worry about it. You're very welcome. Everybody's welcome. Now, even the trolls, although if they troll too much, you're going to get, booted. Because, like, if you're spamming the hell out of the chat, that's, counterproductive to said chat. But, you're fine, Deliverance. Don't worry about it. Vespasian Judah. Have a good night. You too, my friend. I think I'm going to head out. I will be back Monday. Not the exact same time. 9 p.m. New York City time. Okay. Hopefully we'll have some new locales. You guys gave me 4. I bookmarked all of them. So the chat gave me 4 new people that I need to investigate for essentially the purpose of dunking on. So I appreciate that. Hopefully next week, or at least Monday, no Jer. I can't promise you that. If something new happens with Jeremy Hambley, Mr. Poopy Pants, that's interesting and funny, we'll talk about it, obviously. But otherwise, no, hopefully we'll have some new meat, as it were, next week. So Monday, 11 p.m. New York City time. Yes. So you want to know what that is? Just Google current time in New York City and you'll know. Show is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday at 11 p.m. New York City time. And for the foreseeable future, Friday at midnight New York City time. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you back here Monday. I am the Riddler's Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day or evening, wherever you are. And take care.